Let's see what John said here. Said he's about to leave, then 35 minutes. Okay.
This website cannot handle the character sheet.
Doing its best. Oh, we got Gunner with the big first.
The large.
One large first.
A big stupid first, if you will.
Very nice.
Fits the branding. Alright, so it's been about a month. I believe a quick recap would be helpful and in order. So, general gist of you guys getting through House Ragnor so far has been you entered through the main chamber, finding a large beholder-esque spider creature that seemed to be guarding the entrance. Dealt with it before it could do much of anything, thankfully. And stashed a crystal from that in your handy haversack that I believe is in Trent's possession. Don't want to deal with it, put it in a pocket dimension, you know. Yep. Trent do have it. Yes, there was a horse in a tree watching you from outside. A horse, air quotes. You were met with an Etten in the bed chambers and most of the bunks of House Ragnor. The bulk of the bunks. Workers. And were eventually able to be allowed to rest in that chamber after talking things through with them and realizing that they just didn't want to be indentured servants anymore. Simply wanted out of the Underdark and away from the horrors below. You found a few members of the Missing Piece, the other adventuring party that you bumped into at the beginning of your adventure, who was trying to steal magic items at the behest of some unknown person that wanted them for who knows what. Got some of them out. Some of them were not so lucky and became spider food and or dust on the floor in the main chamber. Past that, you were met with a room full of mimic creatures, which you dealt with handily and quickly as you cut down a wardrobe, a book, a bearskin rug, and a wall, as adventurers are wont to do, with their taste for wanton destruction.
I love setting fire.
Very fair. The impromptu fireball was very impressive. It hurt. You then made your way through the courtyard, where you found presumably where a lot of the forces came from, as a large hole had opened up in the center with a huge crystal, this purple crystal that was pulsing with power in the middle of the courtyard. And it looked as though many of the House Ragnor tenants and barbarians had their eyes glazed over and were being taken below the ground into the Underdark. Some escorted by drow workers, some simply kind of pushed in by the Driders and their servants in the courtyards. After stealthing your way, quite literally splinter-celling your way past most of the forces there, and barely making it through the marble gate on the other side with the Ragnor family crest before the forces were able to collapse on you, and a large three-headed creature began breathing fire at the door behind you. You have found yourself in the antechamber of House Ragnor. Ragnor cast neck snap. Ragnor did snap that man's neck. Crushed his skull, snapped his neck.
I did do that.
Big stealth. Barbarian stealth. And you have found yourself in the antechamber of House Ragnor, now just outside of the Archon's chambers. Off to the side, you saw what was the armory that was apparently being guarded by Ed, and the bear, I don't believe, who was also named Eddie. And then off to the right was the guest chambers as well. But this antechamber appears to have been tossed. All of the display cases around the room seem to be shattered and empty. Most of the statues of previous Archons appear to be left mostly untouched. But you can see remnants of the sun hole that passed through the house are also broken and laying scattered on the floor here, as well as the alchemy table off to the side appears to be mostly left untouched. So, Mount Claw, what would you like to do to proceed?
Now, claw. I see the apes left, or they're hiding over there, or something.
They were told to go back off to the left, back to their post, and that you guys would let them know when everything was over.
I don't remember if we searched the room. I think we did. We'll get distracted by monkey.
Yeah, this room I don't believe so in particular.
Well, I mean, I'll grab the 20 health potions at this table, right?
You can.
Yeah, I would also
I
heal up
expect
if we need it.
I'm not sure how the party is looking in terms of damage taken, or
Still spawn currently.
Oh yeah,
Crab
I
is
guess
good.
I guess we were mostly stealthy last time.
Uh-huh.
I'm missing 19.
is it 19?
That's just from art, I think.
Oh, Winter, go ahead and you can give me a
Yeah.
Arcana check, actually, or a medicine check, looking over that alchemy table.
Well, those are some checks for Winter. It's a table.
It is a table. It appears to be full of several vials and a couple of potion bottles. You're kind of too frazzled just by the amount of ingredients and everything that is on there. The amount of, like, the smells and, like, everything kind of assailing your senses from being so close to it. Seems like a lot of the ingredients were in proper use. You don't catch anything particularly out of the ordinary. I will say, even so, though, you do manage to find one standard healing potion. Or sorry, one greater healing potion.
Hell.
That's probably the only thing on the table I recognize, so.
I was gonna say, just it's mostly because of your familiarity with what they look like at this point.
How much does a greater healing heal for? Did
I
you say it was a
believe
greater?
is- Yes, I think it is 64 plus 6. Let me check real quick. 44 plus 4 when consumed.
Okay. Alright, well. Somebody else will check out the table. Just go forward. Got a fake Nor to get. Oh, I moved equilibrium.
Equilibrium has clipped into the back rooms.
Oh god.
Yeah, I do have control of Gunner's character. He phases through the door.
The other gunner character.
Yep.
Clip.
That's
wait,
the
there is
fake.
two.
Oh god, there's two gunners now too. There's two equilibriums. There's a fake one. Kill
Oh
it.
no! I did arm wrestle it.
Equilibrium arm wrestling himself would be depressing.
It's gonna be one getting upset at the other and just like breathing acid on it.
Oh no, I mean because my strength is what was it? Yeah, 6.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, it's just gonna be such a stalemate of just like two noodle arm nerds
Weakest-
like
yeah,
trying to
weakest
fight each
arm
other.
wrestle ever.
It's like, alright, fuck this. You both cast Vitriolic Sphere. Now we can't tell which one's the real one. But yeah, what would y'all like to do?
I wait for group to say we go forward.
I mean, Ragnor, yeah, would definitely want to go forward.
I'm still readying a death grip. That's what I was doing last time, I remember.
Now-
Ragnor, are these suits of armor going to magically animate at any point?
Not that what? No, right? They would not. We don't really deal with magic here. To that extent.
Well,
You
that's
seem so-
disappointing.
Not convinced.
I mean,
You
unless
can't
they've
eat 'em,
done
so-
something to my suits of armor. In which case, I would not have the knowledge
We
to...
did fight a wall.
We did fight a wall.
Yeah.
Fight a wall.
Literally just, yeah, that's enough, yeah.
Just-
So maybe.
maybe. Let's say hard maybe.
Also, just minor clarification: these are statues of previous archons from House Ragnor. So
Right.
these
Oh,
are
okay.
all like stone.
Previous Hokage.
The point could
coming
still
back.
stand about them animating.
No. Well, no, yeah.
they could
You're not
be. They
incorrect.
could be. Golems exist.
No.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
don't look
okay,
at them too
no, alright,
carefully.
they don't exist. Good.
Well, I was about to say I want to go inspect one.
No, they don't exist.
See
Sure.
if there's.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check or an Arcana check if you'd like.
I was gonna test it by
No.
hitting it with my axe, but then I'm like, he probably wants these intact. I can't just like trash your place.
Simply refuse.
Oof.
So the first one was 11 total.
Yeah, 11 total. Got a 2.
Oof. He's gotta say that's a good ass Arcana too.
Yeah.
Given your knowledge of in the arcane field in general, looking over this, you don't see anything that would pertain to like what you know of runes or glyphs that would be used to control inanimate objects on these statues. But you're not entirely convinced.
Okay.
True, I mean, he did. The most sus part is that there's a room for us to be in. On roll
Yeah,
20.
exactly. There's a big
Ah,
open
we
room.
cracked it.
There's a map. What? What could that be for?
Any fun secret passageways? Don't suppose I need to move the arm of one of these statues and the big one in the middle slides to the side and there's a
We
basement
don't
down there.
really. Well, except for the food pantry, we don't really. I would know. I would feel like I wouldn't even have to roll. Other than like the ones I'm aware of, there's not. Would there be any secret passages in here?
You would know the layout of the manor well enough for sure.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing you can think of that would also go into the Archon Chamber would be, when you were young, you used to fool around in places that you shouldn't be necessarily, and you did find out going through the attic at one point that, essentially the tunnel of lenses that the sun hole ran through does
Yeah.
connect to the Archon's chambers. But you're also aware that getting up there while it was active was a very bad idea, as you found out from a few times that Gunter had to pull you out of there and help you with a couple of sear marks that you still have to this day. It's also a bit of a fall if you happen to, come out of it at the wrong spot.
Then I'll warn the rest of the party. Like, hey, yeah, this is here. It might be a little, don't watch your step.
You're also aware of like the general architecture. There's not necessarily the two rooms that flank the area aren't necessarily connected to the Archon's chamber, but they are like basically wall to wall with it. The armory is much, I guess, like heavier walls for the sake of defense. But the guest chamber's walls are would be thinner. It would take, it wouldn't be the stealthiest option, but if you didn't want to just walk in the front door, you could probably bust down a wall.
Interesting.
So
That would
the
give
thoughts
us,
that
like,
the
element
thoughts
of
that come to
surprise.
mind, the thoughts that come to mind for you, knowing the general layout of the building, are you could walk in straight in the front because you do have the family crest on your person. You could go, if you could find a way up into the hole in the ceiling, you could go through the sun hole, the sun hole tunnel area, as it were, like the little aqueduct. Or you could attempt to break down a wall in the guest rooms. So it's
My
all
vote's
just about how
breaking
you want to
down
approach it.
a wall in the guest room to try to get the jump. I don't know what's the party feeling.
Trent is typing.
I don't feel. I fight. I follow.
The crab is still currently in spider form, so he can basically do anything. He can crawl
You
whichever
can
direction we
stealthily
need
break
to
down the
go.
wall by putting webs
So
on it.
it doesn't really matter to me.
Can you put your gem you found in your bag up to the door and see if it does anything? Up to the door that Ragnor has been using family crests for? Like the big marble door that leads to the antechamber? Or not the antechamber, the Archon chamber? Okay. Reaching into your bag, you feel around a bit, go through some of the other stuff that you have in there, and you manage to find it, pull it out, and it's, as I said, I believe it's roughly the size of a grapefruit or a softball. A larger orange, if you will. But, as you pull it out, you immediately hear, "Unhand me, you scoundrel! I have work to be doing!"
Would I recognize that voice?
It just sounds like the same voice that you heard from the spider beholder creature that was guarding the entrance chamber.
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, Mr. Guy opened the door. You have any idea who you are talking to? And you kind of just clink it against the door, and you hear, "Ugh," as if you actually just like bonked him into something. You see the door begin to glow as if it's trying to obtain some sort of like arcane signature from it, and then it simply fades and does not open.
I think if he doesn't shut up, you should shake the crystal really hard.
It's like Muscle Man trapped in a little.
You can feed it to Henry.
It won't do anything. That's not how arcane conduits work, you buffoon. But I wouldn't expect anything less of you overlings. I have many temples and ancient secrets to protect you wouldn't understand. I am above all of this. Gets Jory hit to polish him. You see, like, in the middle of, like, him just running his mouth, you just hear, like, as you're, like, squeaking it on your arm, he's just, "Stop that!" Goes back into the bag. Into the handy haversack, and you no longer hear him running his mouth. I don't know why there are wings for the Houndor event, but I will throw up about it.
Yep. Well, I tried. Any ideas?
Respect it.
I mean, yeah. Let's just I'm just gonna bust down the guest room. Fuck it.
Do we at all want to see if there are any fun toys in the armory before?
Oh,
heading
there's
to the
fun
guest
toys.
room?
Well, unless it's been ransacked, there is fun toys in the armory.
That is up to y'all.
Yeah, let's check the armory. Actually, that's a good idea.
Sure. I will let you guys know. I do not have maps set up for the guest room or the armory, so it will be theater of the mind, but you are more than welcome to explore them.
Yeah.
I see Trent also suggested maybe we can climb the sun hole with the spider and get a look around. That's another option for sure.
Ooh. Yeah, Marge, can you do that?
Yeah, the spider will kind of give a little nod, and just kind of begin to creep and look, I guess.
Gonna say, are you guys doing that or the armory first?
Let's hit armory up first.
Say, just so I know what's going on. Gotcha. Okay. So going back through there, you do see the boys again. You see the two gorillas and the bear, and you have the scroll active. So, just like, oh, hello. The bear's just kind of, are we safe to leave?
It seems like we've essentially cleared a path for them. I'd say you're safe. So get out of here.
You do remember the courtyard is still full of.
Yeah, but
Everything
Okay,
you
right.
left behind
Duh,
it,
never
yeah.
mind. We did stealth. We didn't actually murder everyone.
Trent did say there are still bad guys as well.
Yeah. Never mind then. Never mind. A lapse of the mind. It's almost like it's been approximately a month since I can remember this.
It does feel like it's been a while. Quite hungry. Do you need something? Do you need in this door? This is your house. I mean,
Oh yeah, do you all have food?
well, no.
For yourselves.
We used to go to the mess hall for it. That's what we were told the food was. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, Trent did give them food. You are correct. Still kind of hungry. Already ate it all, but it's all right. It's better, I guess. Stomach's not growling as much. Thank you. See, one of them actually
it's
walks
our
up to Trent and
resident
kind
cowboy.
There you go. One of them does walk up to Trent, though, and kind of just, like, plops down and sits behind you and starts, like, picking through the back of your hair. John, what's good? Glad to see you.
Howdy. I don't know how my voice sounds right now, but just bear with me for a few minutes.
Yeah, no, you're good. You do what you gotta do, man. Any bugs in there? No, not at the moment. Seem to actually take pretty good care of yourself. What are we doing again? You see the bear's, like, already, like, walking up to the door, just, like, on its back legs and, like, putting its paw on the big, like, bulkhead, like, wheel to, like, try to turn it and just... I don't have thumbs. Could someone strong open this?
That is certainly not my area of expertise.
You actually notice there are two wheels, and the gorillas kind of look at each other.
Oh wait,
We
no, I was
could
talking.
probably do
I
it.
was
Oh,
I
sorry.
was muted. Sorry, I was just gonna say I helped them before they can even fish. So, and do I have to roll? Do you want me to roll anything?
If you would just like to roll a athletics check.
Athletics, yeah, I'm good at that one.
One of the gorillas kind of pipes up as well. Just I can do my best to get the other one.
I just give him
really
like a
don't
nod
know.
as I do it. Athletics. And so let's do this.
Let's see what the boys got. Not bad.
Let's go.
You see he's kind of struggling, and like you see This is a whole ass gorilla. You see his muscles tensing as he turns it, and eventually it gives and creaks a little bit, and he's kind of like panting, just... Okay, he looks over, and you've already got the other one, like, pulling it open. Just, right, and starts, like, trying to catch up, pulling open on his side as well. And as you open the door, you do see just walls lined with very basic, simple weapons, martial weapons. Some of them look to be better crafted for some of the higher-ranking officers of House Ragnor, and you can tell because there are like a line of them along the back wall. Looks like just all makes, anything from axes to halberds, spears, crossbows, you name it. And in the middle of the room, you see several large, essentially siege engines. There are trebuchets, catapults. This is a very large room. Heavy cannons. Something that looks like... you see a table kind of sprawled out next to the entrance, and, like, there are, for lack of a better term, schematics, or what you can assume to be schematics for what looks like a large, like, crawling creature on 4 legs.
Would I recognize that as something like a Ragnor artificer was working on, or is that something foreign to me?
It is not something you were personally aware of.
Okay.
But,
interesting.
It's not very far along, and given that it was a House Ragnor artificer, for lack of better knowledge, it does kind of look like a second grader's doodle. But, it looks like somebody had the idea, whether they were able to fulfill it or not, to make some sort of, like, spider tank, like, weapon at some point. And it looks like that was the next thing they were going to start working on in here. But,
can I do, like, a Arcana check or something, just to see, like, how good of, like, an actual design this is?
yeah, sure.
Can somebody roll me a D, like a +8?
Plus
I'm
8.
not near my computer.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's an 18 plus 8 for a 26. Oh, yeah. With that, like, even though it is a very crude drawing, like, it's not drawn in crayon, but it's akin to something that would be drawn in crayon. The design is actually fairly stable. The legs look a little... How do I put this? It looks very sturdy and very sound in how it's built. Like, it wouldn't take a lot of damage necessarily. But you're not sure how they were going to weaponize it if they were going to. Like, it looks like it was simply... The legs don't actually have joints where they need to be. They're, like, a little higher up, and it would throw the balance off a little bit. But you, like, looking at it and just, like, going through it in your mind with your expertise, you can kind of be like, okay, like, this part's a little bit off, but if you moved it down just a little bit, if you adjusted these, if you actually, like, opened up a bit of the inside so it's not, like, all top-heavy, and it's not just going to fall over if it, like, twists to one side a little bit, this could actually be a pretty solid design. So while it is very crude, you have ideas in your head for beefing this up a little bit, or maybe modifying it. So, it's not a bad design. It's just... looks like somebody rushed it, and it was probably something that they were just thinking about that they wanted to get down on paper at some point.
I might want to take that with me if y'all don't mind.
By all
I'm
means.
just gonna like, roll it up and put it in my pack.
Yep. Alright. And, you actually hear one of the gorillas pipe up at this point. Yeah, if you guys want, I mean, it's your stuff, Mr. Ragnor, of course. This stuff could probably help you and do, like, a lot of damage to people in there, right? And it's about at this point you guys realize the door to this chamber isn't very large. The door to the chamber is probably about 8 feet tall. the weapons in this chamber, at least the siege engines, are probably a good at least 15 to 20 feet tall apiece, not counting like the standard cannons, but even the cannons are roughly like 10 to 12 feet tall. They are much larger than the average build. And you kind of get the feeling these were manufactured in this room. They weren't brought in here.
Okay. Are you saying like the evil force manufactured them, or they have existed in here as like Ragnor
No, they have existed.
armaments? Okay.
But it seems like the House Ragnor engineers may have not thought of the concept of how to get them out of the room.
I see. We were never good at that.
I'd have said
We
that
were-
the cannons would help with us busting down a wall. However, I don't really know how we'd get the cannon over to said wall.
I do briefly
yes.
remember the previous Archon discussing cannon size schematics, and he was very disappointed very proud of our firepower, but and then I just kind of gestured to the size of the cannon versus the size of the door.
I mean, we got
There
two
were some
gorillas.
design flaws that were inherent to the house.
It is very much a case of previous Archons kind of would just say, yes, make big weapons and make them do a lot of damage. And the engineers just kind of rolled with it without thinking. And they did it. But they probably
I
haven't left this room. A
feel
lot of them are
like-
covered in dust. Big weapons
I
do go
feel
bonk,
like
yeah.
when it comes to the more intellectual sides of planning what goes on in your house, maybe you should start outsourcing rather than relying on people who are used to just hitting things really hard.
Respectfully, hitting things really hard has gotten us this far.
True.
And it hasn't got you siege engines which can get out of that room without dismantling your own manor.
Oh, break down a wall. We got two gorillas to push it.
We've got 2 gorillas to push it. Alright.
What if casted hard reduce on it? Would that work? Could we make it smaller?
That's what I
so
was
it's kind of
thinking.
bulletproof?
Ragnar wasn't thinking that, but me, the player, was, because I'm like, yeah, we could always shrink these things.
Oh, that's definitely something that could be doable. I would say something like a catapult or a trebuchet would probably still be iffy on getting it out the doorway, but one of the larger cannons, it's essentially just a scaled up version of like a cannon you would see on like an old pirate ship.
Excuse me.
Bless you, like a big black powder cannon. So, it's not impossible. And upon further inspection, they do look to be, the cannons each, there are 2 of them, do look to be loaded. Which makes them much heavier considering normally you would have like, you know, I don't know, like an 8 to 10 pound cannonball to be projected. It's going to add a lot of weight to these, but if you reduce them, they are on wheels. They could be rolled out.
And then we could just enlarge them when we're out.
Shouldn't you store these things unloaded so that there's no chance
Shouldn't
of it
you be
accidentally
quiet?
going off?
Honestly, I kind of want to see it go off.
I'm sorry, just the logic arguing with the barbarian is always my favorite thing. It's so good.
I think you almost got him, Gunner. Keep going.
Oh, I just have to say the House Ragnor engineers are very Magic the Gathering goblin coded.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Just wait till
I just
the
think
actual
of that
goblins
I
get
just think
inside.
of that panel of Reagan and Mob, where I don't remember what they're talking about in the car, and Reagan's like, "We can stop talking now."
It's
That's
just like
Ragnar's mood whenever they bring up the door sizes.
It's just 40k orcs. It's like, their stuff shouldn't work. It only works by the power of belief.
Hey man, if they pull together and they think they're a tank, they're just as deadly as a tank.
I'm gonna be very disappointed if we don't see 5 Ragnors in tank formation at some point now.
The special task force.
Yeah, they're definitely special, huh?
So, are you guys taking any of the toys from in here?
Yeah, we're working on a way to get one of these cannons out. If you have any ideas. Wait, did we already reduce it? Does someone have reduce?
Oh, that it's up to y'all.
Also, we
Yeah,
can just
I'll
break.
get
Also,
one
I do like Trent's idea of we can simply break the wall to wheel the cannon out as well.
I mean, I'll cast reduce on one of the cannons. Now I've been thinking about this. Equilibrium. How long does it take you to learn a new spell?
Depends on how complex the spell is.
Because I could teach you it. I could give you my stuff, and you could copy it down, since they're both the same type of magic.
It could certainly work, although I would probably only be able to copy down a few of the spells. I've a bit more of a refined area of expertise when it comes to the spells in my book.
Alright, well, after this, I'll send them up, and you can choose which ones you want to keep.
Wonderful.
It's like wizard emails.
It's a wizard shopping list, yeah.
Likewise, you're always welcome to see the ones in mine in case there are any that you're needing to.
Yeah, with that, I think Art's gonna cast reduce on one of the cannons.
Let me have a look real quick. Exactly how small does that make it?
I want to say
What's the
it's.
scaling? Let's see.
I believe it's like an eighth of the weight, I think, but I don't know the size.
Right. Size is halved in all dimensions, and its weight is reduced to 1/8 of normal. Okay, so the weight wouldn't be an issue for sure. Decreases its size by 1 category. Okay, yeah. So this would go from a large to a medium, essentially, item. And you would be able to, yeah, you'd be able to comfortably wheel this out of the room. It will fit in the hallway now.
Sweet, let's wheel that shit out. And then we can use it to bust a hole in. We can still use it for the element of surprise, because they would not expect us having a cannon.
Very likely. Alright. You guys managed to get that back out to the antechamber here for whatever else you would like to do. Did you still want to have somebody go up through the sun hole and kind of scout?
Yeah,
Or were you
the
going to
spider.
send multiple people?
Throw
The spider
tree.
itself?
Yeah, I thought we were gonna use the spider for surveillance. That's up to Marge. I don't want to.
I can go that way in the survey.
Okay, yeah. So, sending the spider up the wall and, like, onto the ceiling. Kind of, like, looks down at everyone, scans the group, checks its surroundings first, and then pokes its head in, looks around. Doesn't see anything too foreboding. It does appear to be... There's a little bit of broken glass up here, but it's mostly just the... most of it has already... Like, the big bits have fallen through to the floor below. So there is enough room for the spider to kind of squeeze in, and you do see a bit of light coming from both sides, the way you came from, and the way toward the Archon's chamber. Through a essentially a sort of like ventilation. It doesn't appear to be anything that opens, but it does appear to have like grates in it for the sake of letting air in and out.
Okay. I just kind of need to just take a little look, see. You know, I mean, I don't really.
Just
when
like
it's
peering
stealth
into the
and
room.
creep, yeah.
Fight him.
Yes.
What is my stealth? Hold on, what is a spider stealth? Oh, it was the same as the crab. That's right.
I was gonna say the spider's
Which
is pretty good. I
is-
remember. I think it's like a plus
Which is-
6, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. If you would go ahead and give me a stealth roll for the spider, then. Okay.
All right, not bad.
As it makes its way forward.
And then perception.
Gotcha. It does make its way forward, and you don't seem to feel any eyes upon it necessarily. And with that, I will go ahead and show you what you would see in the next room. This would just be the spider seeing this, mind you, but it could still relay enough information.
The spider, which is actually a crab, which is actually a druid.
Yes. Ignore the
Which is actually a person.
ignore your
before-
tokens at the bottom, but
Sheesh.
this is the general layout.
I'm gonna get a nice little count for the boys. And back right the fuck back out of that.
That's a lot
was
of
gonna say,
dice.
the main points you see the
Alright,
drow woman,
Dark Ragnor, if you will.
Dark.
Dragnor.
Dark. It's a
Dragunor.
reflection of yourself. Conquer yourself.
God, Shadow Rag, got Persona shit. It's Shadow Rag.
But yeah, I will bring you guys back. And the spider appears to poke its head back up out of the hole in the ceiling and make its way back down. Marge, would you have it relay information for you?
Oh
Or
yeah,
relay
for
what it's on?
sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
And you guys actually see the spider come back and like you watch as it walks over to the alchemy table, takes a satchel of powder from it, and just spills it on the floor. Just this dark brown powder. And you watch as it takes its like spider leg and begins to draw out what it saw in the room. And you get a general sense of how many there were, the locations of where they were, and the general layout of the room from the spider being able to do this. And it actually, as you're all standing there and kind of like crowding around it, it pokes its head up and it says, "This could be particularly dire." And then all of its eyes kind of widen as it realizes that it can speak.
About to do that.
Did that spider just talk?
You guys do have the scrolls of animal speaking active right now from talking to the gorillas.
I forgot that the gorillas can't just talk
I don't
normally.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys used the scroll for that. You guys can effectively speak with animals right now.
Man, that was a jump scare.
You notice the
was
spider
like, did the
also kind
spider
of jump
get-
scared itself.
Did the spider get bit by a radioactive human?
Well, Ragnar bit it.
Good lord.
Ragnor bit March, much worse.
Oh,
Much.
Oh no.
almost killed Ragnar, I think.
The crab tried.
Well, there appears to be quite a lot of them in there. I'm sorry, but those cannons at the back,
Yeah.
they stole our idea.
Well, yeah, alright, fair enough.
You see the spider actually kind of like looks up and looks around. I don't know. And it's like, it's talking very slowly because it's kind of like concerned itself at like hearing itself. But it does continue speaking. I don't know what the best way forward would be. However, it seems we are a bit outmatched. Especially with that crystal the lady wants. I sense a very dark, powerful presence from it. Something familiar.
I was going to say, do you think we could use all the siege engines to collapse the roof in on them? However, the issue is if it also collapses the roof in on us.
And this is a manor that, while it could be rebuilt, and we've done it before, I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer not to rebuild it, especially during a time of political weakness, or then one of the other houses could try to usurp our military strength.
How long do you think they could hold their breath?
Like,
Do they need to
bad
hold their
guys?
breath? Well, yeah, because, like, I technically have a nice little thing in my pocket I've been waiting on in case I need to. Like, I can make water fill the room and give you all the ability to breathe.
oh my god, you have the Phantom Menace rebreathers.
How quickly can you make water fill the
Two
room?
actions. One action to
Got
fill
it.
it, one action to make you guys be able to breathe, and that's it. I only have to concentrate on the control water one. Once I give you guys the ability to breathe, it's like a 24-hour air bubble or something like that, or like an 8-hour air bubble.
It does insulated like a aquarium.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Is to, yeah, you got it. Yeah,
I was thinking of like leak through doors and stuff.
I make an aquarium out of anything. Yeah, that's the thing. Is I don't know, but technically, if we sealed it up as best we could, it wouldn't fully leak out, and it would definitely it would up to a point for sure. But
yeah,
like,
but
I
it'd
could
still, like,
keep the
drown
water.
them.
Yeah, I could keep the water there for a while, and additionally, so you guys could at least then breathe underwater while trying to fight underwater.
Didn't
I just
think
don't
about
think that
that.
they know how to fight underwater.
Can you remind me, Cam? Can you remember what the spider relayed to us as far as what the other room looked like what was in there? And
Yes, I can actually just take you guys back there to make it easier. So, this
Yeah,
is the
you
current
remove half the enemies.
layout that you
oh
can
yeah,
see.
those two big
of
things will
course.
die definitely, probably. They seem like they need air.
The,
You see what I mean? I just thought about like
So, some of these things are familiar to you. When the scar opened up in the ground on the way to Deadlock, the
oh yeah,
the demons
okay.
that were slinking in and out of shadows and that were trying to sucker punch you guys and like going back into stealth and like going across the field and trying to do it again, they are lining the length of this carpet right now.
Okay.
The hellhounds that you saw there are sized up, and they appear to be quite literal guard dogs going on in the current situation. The lady with the staff appears to have grown in size and now has this yellow ichor kind of sliding off of the sides of her arms, and her eyes have the same yellow glow to it. You actually watch as this Ragnor here, this quote-unquote fake Nor, looks incredibly nervous at the situation he is currently in. And you see, you would have seen Lord Autress as well. Eyes kind of, his facial expression remains composed, but after seeing the real Ragnor behind him at one point and realizing that something was off, and being put in the position he is currently put in, while his facial expression is calm, you see his eyes kind of shifting and darting around the room, looking for a way out or a way to handle the situation, as he appears to be very aware now, violently, that this is not what he was hoping for or what he had planned. As the weighty drow appears to be kind of searching around the throne of the room. You see he kind of just like dares not move for the sake of the hellhound beside him and the line of demons, you know, on the way to the exit.
I think you're onto something. That flooding method.
I will say,
like the structural. Go ahead.
I was just going to say before you get too far into this plan, looking at the control water spell, it raises the level of all standing water in the area currently. It does not necessarily create water.
I have a way to create water too.
That is fair.
Would that be another action, or would that be something?
Probably.
Okay, so bump that up to 3 actions. That's still not.
Or somebody else can create the water.
Any real method.
How much water can you create? This is a very large chamber.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure create water is only like 10 gallons or something. I don't remember.
No, I just need to make a small amount of water, and then control water makes an insane
you could
amount
raise
of water.
it. Yeah, right. You just need a source of water to start.
I'll spit.
So bare minimum, it says it's gonna raise as much as 20 feet.
That's the thing, though,
Yeah.
it's 20 feet. If it's a puddle and you raise it 20 feet, wouldn't that just become a
It
bigger
would kind of
puddle?
just be like a column at that point
Yeah.
in one spot.
So we need to.
Well,
And
but
then
no,
it
it doesn't. No, okay. It says the flooding's water spills over onto dry land. So no, it would just raise everything in the area by 20 feet.
It would raise the water, but then it would essentially go in the direction that you're wanting it to go, because it travels
And then it
from.
Yeah.
This is an area in a large body of water. Never mind, that's like the tidal wave version of it. Rise as much as 20. Yeah.
It just says
If it includes a shore, the flooding water spills
says
over onto
if-
dry land. If you choose an area in a large body of water, then you can create essentially a tidal wave from the flood.
that's in a large, but that'd be like if I was at sea.
Yeah,
If
that's
we were
like
already
if
at
there's a
sea,
lot of
yeah.
water around, basically, yes.
Why would the water not spill over?
Well,
It
it,
says
would spill
flood.
over.
I'm
it
saying
would spill over, but what
it doesn't
I would say
necessarily
is
create more
wouldn't-
water.
It wouldn't spill over into the level that we want. It would make like a 2 feet puddle instead of like a. Like
It would
cover
make
the
a very
entire-
tall puddle. It would essentially be a column rising.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
It-
I
it-
disagree, but that's fine. Because there's so many spells in this game that go out of their way to specify columns or cubes.
Well,
or-
and that's I wasn't even thinking column. My thought was just not to get into spell semantics. My thought was just
Right.
let's say we get a water source. Like I throw a vial of water down. Bam, water source. Marge casts whatever that spell is. And what's it say, up to 20 feet?
Rise
Yes,
by
it-
as much as 20 feet. Yes.
20 feet. So my thought is, yes, it would rise up to 20 feet, but the volume of the water wouldn't be a column. It would be, since it splashes back down to shore, it would just be 20 feet of water
Oh, well, that's fun because I can make more water with. Hold on a second.
in this room that would be like kind of more shallow, like
No, hold
with
on
the
a
surface
second, I got
area.
you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
I think
Here,
that's a
let us
better
one-shot your
description, but I
boss room.
apologize.
That's what I was thinking. But I mean, hey, if we can find a way to flood this place, yes. I'm down.
Like the king
Plan is
strat.
good. This
Yeah,
plan-
technically I can because tidal wave does make water spread out across the ground in all directions.
That I would
like
say would be a
surf
lot
from
more
Pokemon.
reasonable, yeah. Because you're essentially then you have a much larger area covered in water. And then if you raise that 20 feet, I would say that would at the very least, that's going to make that difficult terrain and terrain that they would have to maneuver out of. Otherwise, they simply wouldn't be able, like, things that need to breathe would not be able to breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would still have to fight the current and fight the water. Yeah, they would have to stay afloat. Pretty.
It would be very hard. They would basically be using fighting underwater rules.
Well, the flood would would probably cause everybody to fall over. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I mean, it would knock them off balance.
just considering
sure.
from the descriptor of any huge or smaller vehicles, because for like just the flooding of the building, it would almost certainly.
But
I don't
we
know.
would need a place to seal it, is what I'm worried, because if it.
Yeah, I kind of assumed the water would go out. We would seal the door and just basically keep as much as we can in.
How many outlets? Can I roll a perception to see how many? Well, never. No. Can I ask the spider how many outlets this room would have for water?
Depending how airtight. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Depending how airtight the door is. If the windows hold, then
Yeah, because the windows would crack eventually. But they
How
would be
high up
used.
are the windows? How do the windows?
I imagine like big stained glass church windows, and
they're essentially big
in
stained
the
glass
arch.
church
So they go
windows, yes.
from floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no way those.
They wouldn't hold
Really?
forever, but they would hold for some time.
Because I am trying to raise the water level of all the standing. If I could fill the room with standing water and then fill it to 20 feet, that's the goal.
Right. That would be my goal too, because I'm pro water.
How wide is it?
That's
How-
what I'm
how
looking
tall
at for tidal wave. So for tidal wave, the area can be up to 30 feet long.
Yeah,
So-
but then it just says it goes to the spreads out.
Right.
That's part of the thing. So that part. So that's what you just need to determine how far it would spread. Would it spread out? Because it would cause standing water all over the room. Like that's
Right.
just
That would be.
simple
And
as
that's
that.
what we need.
like
I'm just
flooding my
trying to-
basement.
Yeah, hold on. So like, you're roughly looking at, if we use the measuring tool here, 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, and up to 10 feet tall. I don't know math-wise exactly how much water that is. I am not a math wizard.
Don't you just multiply all three of those together to get the volume? Not
There's a
volume.
way-
I don't know.
the fucking thing.
However, I would say
I
rough
think it would
guesstimation
be-
from something that size, you would probably have a puddle, because it would probably go outward into like almost like a circle more than anything, because it's not going to have any like free-form direction to go. It's water. It's going to spread out on the floor.
They go everywhere. Yeah, when it hits, it's gonna
Yes.
go back.
So it's gonna
fall
be
back
like-
under the
it's
gonna be
table.
closer to
gonna
like
go
being a
everywhere.
circle. So if you have a 30-foot line and it spreads out, this is just me spitballing. Like, don't take this to heart. I would say roughly, you're gonna
30
have
feet
like,
long, 10
you
foot
would
wide.
probably be able to encompass roughly an area about this size. So
That's still
most
really
most
good.
of the
if we
room
could keep them in there, that's
covered
still
in like a
really
water,
good.
Wait.
like in like a water.
Is that the
area.
tidal wave?
No, the
That
tidal
would
wave
be-
is
that
much
would
smaller.
be-
This would be the area that
Yeah.
would be like wet on
We
the
could-
ground when the water
we could raise
disperses
to
from
20
the tidal
feet.
wave.
Gotcha,
Yes,
okay.
that's
That's
that is
still a really
roughly
big
what I
bubble
am
sphere.
visualizing. If that is reasonable to you guys,
That's still
Yeah.
advantageous. I would still say go for it, even if it's not the full room. Like they would have a way out, but they would still be at a disadvantage. We could use the bubble to our advantage, is what I'm saying.
it would definitely be very disruptive towards anything inside of it.
Because they would be spending one round, if not multiple rounds, trying to get out, and then we could take them out as needed.
All right, so that's the circle I'll get after the tidal wave. And if I go to flood the room from that, where do I go? How much would you? How high?
It
up
would.
would
That
you-
this would just shoot up.
This
And
would
then
basically
covering
go
it-
up
yeah.
20 feet,
Yeah.
and then it would like, while it would like,
Like Rain's fatality in Mortal Kombat 1, where he raises a big sphere. That's what I'm thinking.
That's
I'm kind of seeing it as like a big watery globe as well. In this case, because you don't have like an actual open source of water, you're creating the tidal wave and like the water on the ground, and then raising from it.
And hell, we could breathe in it, so we could stay in the sphere and force them to engage with us.
Yeah. How you guys want to handle this is totally up to you. This is an option.
Cannon.
We could do both. There's nothing saying we can't do cannon and waters.
I don't know if I have to cast it again, but what if I made the cannon even bigger?
It just explodes.
It's too big.
Need more gunpowder and everything. I don't know. Because we could have Ed and Ed just man the cannons and then like protect our backline. They don't have to go in there. So don't risk their
For
life.
the sake of mechanics, I would say the cannon would take roughly 1 round to go off after lighting the fuse.
Out of curiosity, Cam, would you consider the cannon a projectile weapon?
If I threw it,
I'm not asking.
Similar to that of a firearm.
You know, just...
you get to roll like 7
Yeah.
times.
I mean,
It's a really big gun, if you really think of that.
Yeah, it's just a really big
it's
gun,
a really
right?
big primitive gun. So it is
Yeah, so-
effectively a projectile weapon, yes.
I mean, you know, out of curiosity, right? Artificer infusions and stuff. You know, just spitball in here.
Isn't there a whole class of artificers just built around big cannons?
Big guns, yeah. there is.
Artillerists, yeah.
Artillerist is pretty cool. If I put, what is it called? Repeating shot on the cannon, what would happen? I'd just, you know.
Don't you have
spitballing
to? Don't you have to choose your infusions like when
Yeah, I
you wake up?
I believe they're at the beginning of the day.
I think you can just touch things and do it, but if you have a free one,
I have a look.
I could. I don't think I'm gonna do it anyway though, because I'd have to drop my infusion
Right.
to do it. But I was just curious if it would work.
I think infusions are after arrest. I think it's the other little thing that's not quite as powerful that you can just touch things for.
I think it takes time too.
Simpborn martial weapon with the ammunition property requires attunement. It's a +1 bonus to attack damage rolls made by it to make a ranged attack and ignores the loading property if it has it.
I don't. I don't know if a cannon counts as a simple or martial weapon.
It's true. I mean, it has to be one of the two, right?
I would say
There's
it's,
only
it's
seven-
definitely
I-
more
I-
under martial.
I,
Well, I'm not gonna do it anyway though. But I was just curious.
I love the like potential problem solving though. Also, everybody is currently blessed except for Trent.
Oh, cool.
Hell.
I am back home, by the way. I'm getting in the roll 20.
Let's go.
You sound more southern now.
I'm just talking my normal voice.
It's always sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Howdy.
feeling so #blessed.
that is the that is the general way. I'm gonna keep the circle like dragged off here just in case we do need a representation of that later. But like,
Wait a minute.
how you guys handle
Holy
this is
shit.
Wait, so is Lady with Staff?
Oh
still good,
my
though?
god, Flood! I can do that every turn though.
Oh, then you could just make.
It says
more
as an
enemies.
action on your turn, you can
Just
repeat the
keep doing
same
it?
effect or choose a different one. And the thing is about the flood thing, it does specifically say the water level remains elevated until the spell ends, or you choose a different effect. And what if I just choose the same effect and just keep raising the water level?
oh, let's
Does
see.
it stack or does it maintain?
We can all
20 feet?
die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it maintain or does it stack? That's important.
It just says that it says that it remains elevated until the spell ends, or you choose a different effect. But what if it doesn't say that I?
Can't like apply another
Yeah.
stack of 20 feet. Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess that's DM ruling.
And at that point, like again, I don't think that a cylinder makes sense for this spell. I think that you're literally flooding and flooding and flooding. Water doesn't work like that when you flood. If I were to just throw water in this room, it's not gonna fucking form a perfect fucking shape. It's gonna,
Right, it's gonna
all
spread over
everywhere.
the ground.
But mostly it's going to spread out the same direction if it's flat, right?
Well, that's
More or
why I have.
less.
That's why I have the general like.
Circle, right?
That's
It's
why
kinda
yeah,
like
the circle was
in
just
my
the general
head-
representation of the area.
Yeah, exactly.
That
But
it
like,
becomes-
what I mean to say is part of the flood. If that circle were to go straight up, it kind of sounds like to me. It looks like to you guys an iceberg that then like melts, and that to me isn't what the spell is. It's literally just like causing this water on the ground to just start spilling over. So like, if it doesn't get to 20 feet high, that's fine because the area around it is bigger than 20 feet wide. But it would still maybe get to like 10 or 15 feet based upon how big the area is around it.
So
In this
instead
room,
of-
probably
instead
not.
Of, instead of generating like a 20 feet sphere, it would spill out into.
It would
like a
spill out, but
10-foot
wouldn't be as tall.
be like a 10-foot pool.
Yeah,
instead of a-
exactly.
yeah.
But it would still increase in size. And 10 foot would still be enough to cover most things probably in this room. 10 foot would cover everybody in our party.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. I am now that you saying that made me click into what you would think. Yeah.
Because like that doesn't sound like it's the same spell to me that we're talking about. Because like I get what you're saying, but I'm pretty sure there's a spell that's literally that. But
Like a big water sphere.
yeah, but like you use water as like a cylinder, like a force wall, basically. But
I'm just trying to
Not-
visualize how it essentially creates more water out of the limited amount of water that you currently have.
I
Because
think
I
it's
know
part of the magic.
I know
That's
it's
just
part of the
the
magic
ma-
for
yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
but like
What's the spell?
it's create water,
Control
not
water.
create water. Sorry, control water. Yes, it's the flood effect specifically. Water level of all standing water in the area to rise by as much as 20. If it includes a shore, the flooding water spills over into dry land. If you choose an
That's the
area
only part that's
in a
like, I
large
don't know
body
why-
of water, you create a 20-foot tall wave that travels from one side to the other. And then with the wave, any huge or smaller vehicles in the path are carried. That's when you get into like boat, like
yeah,
mechanics.
exactly. Which is kind of a cool thing of it, but. So like I can understand your point of it wouldn't be I wouldn't just fill this room up to 20 feet based off a little
Right.
puddle.
exactly.
Fair.
Like the whole room's not going to.
But I still think
is
that it
probably not
wouldn't
going to
form
fill
a
off of this,
cylinder
yes.
and then kind of collapse. I think it would just start filling as if I were to like put a hose into a tub. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't want to make this more complicated, but the way it seems to me, reading it is like, let's say, imagine you had like some sand, right? And you just poured the sand out, right?
Mhm.
And then you decide to levitate all that sand would just lift up. It wouldn't create more water necessarily, it would just lift it up. Is what it seems
It's,
like.
it's using the water that is
But-
currently there, which like
It doesn't. I don't see anything there that shows it like.
Okay,
creating
all
water
right.
necessarily,
When
but
it
I don't
says
know.
when it says standing water to rise, that's not literal. That's not literal. What is that? No. We're not levitating water. Okay, calm down now.
Oh, is that what?
When
Yeah,
you
you're just
rise, when a
making
water level rises anywhere, like a tide, whatever,
That's
it's
more water.
water
Yeah.
is increasing in that area.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
see what
increasing,
John-
but there's not more water being created though. You know what I mean?
I will say for the sake of this,
There's more water in the area. There's more volume of water.
it could cover a very large area, and that area would probably either push things out of it or become very difficult, unbreathable terrain for anything in it. And I think
Anything
mechanically
below
that's
10
probably
feet.
the best thing we can do here.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that
Yeah, we-
reasonable? Is that amicable?
Yeah, I was just trying to get it up
Okay.
above, like, their heads was the main goal here.
Yeah, no,
You know
even
what I
if
mean?
it's like, even if that area is only like 10 feet as opposed to 20, just because of it being spread out or whatever, or if it does go up to 20 feet, like, they're still going to either have to get out of it or they're going to be hampered by it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So does that mean I can continue the flooding? Is that allowed? Because it
Do you have
does just say I
does
can
it cost a
repeat
spell
it.
slot or something?
No, it's just part of, as long as it has concentration in up to 10 minutes, so I can just
It
continue to
remains
do it.
elevated until the spell ends or you choose a different effect. So you can maintain it, but I don't think you can double up.
Okay,
You would have-
that's
because you would-
fair, but technically the new water isn't all up to 20 feet, is it? So couldn't I rise that by an additional 10 feet?
I'm going to, for the sake of this, say that you could maintain it.
Okay,
Yeah, because my thing would be you break concentration, the water kind of
hurt.
settles.
I mean, yeah, I will
And
be a
then you-
crab regardless, because, like,
Yeah.
you know.
You break
water.
concentration, the water settles, and then if you were to choose to reapply it, it would just rise back up to where it was. It wouldn't.
We'll take the ability to just get it over their heads. We're fine with all that. That's
we
good.
got
I say,
you.
I'm
You're
over
creating
the
a
finish
very
line. I had to-
non-optimal zone for them to be in.
Yeah, good. This is my final form. Okay, this is where I've been working on. All right. It started with plants. Some dude gets his leg tangled up in a goddamn thing, and now I'm drowning people because they can't move out of water. All right.
Bald versus shaved debate.
I'm now good on
Okay.
all that.
Now,
All right, wait. Now that seems done, I'm gonna add one more thing for that. To make you all
Yeah, we need
confused.
to.
We
All
gotta
right,
roll
consider.
it. Come on.
The water's under us. I cast Path of Frost. We can all walk on water. Then you raise
That
it.
would also just turn it into ice, and then they would.
Is that a bad
not-
thing?
It's
I guess
only the
that's-
surface of the water is ice.
Oh, you mean like above them after we get? I guess
Oh,
that's fair. How
that's
thick can you make
cool.
that water?
Could we just freeze them?
Well, it's
Probably
just the
could fit into
surface.
Well, yeah, it'd be the surface, but they would be stuck below it, which would be cool.
Yeah, make it like neck high, and then I
Well,
I
with
jump
that
up on it
area,
as fast
the
as
We're gonna go
surface
ice
of it
fishing,
would be
boys.
frozen.
We're going ice fishing.
Hell, it starts stabbing at him under the water. Jesus, good
I'm gonna need
lord.
another bottle.
Actually, it's only ice under where you are, and if you walk on it, anywhere you
Oh,
step,
it's kind of
it'll
like
become
Frozen
ice.
or Iceman. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing, yeah. Okay, I gotcha. So,
Actually, it's not AoE. That would just be for me.
All right. So for the record, I am eating one of my two fourth level spell slots to give everybody an upcasted air bubble. How many do we need? I don't need one for the crab, obviously.
The crab can breathe.
The spider?
Crab's fine.
We all of us breathe.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
The gorillas, if they choose to help, I would say keep them in where the water would not get.
So currently I can do 5.
I was gonna say,
all
it
of
would
you
be-
all will get one.
Well,
it would be
you
5
need-
because Equilibrium's token is not there. I know Gunner is usually better about getting his actual token set up at this point than I am.
It would be 5.
Yes.
It would be 5 total.
There is.
Okay, good. All right. Then all of those people
Then yeah,
get
that
air
works out
bubbles.
perfect. Okay.
That air bubble is not concentration. It just lasts for 24 hours.
Right.
So does it follow us, or do we have to stay in like an air zone?
No, it's just around your head. It says you create a spectral globe around the head of a
cool.
willing
Okay,
creature.
cool.
It's filled with fresh air. It says if the creature has more than one head, the globe of air appears around only one of its heads, which is all the creature needs to
no.
avoid suffocation, assuming that all of its heads share the same respiratory system.
I don't know about that one, Chief. I feel like if two of King Ghidorah's heads drowned, it would drown the whole body. But I don't,
Maybe
I'm not a doctor.
Ghidorah, sure, because he's like miles across.
Oh god, he'd be so heavy. Alright, so I will ask you now, Mount Clock, going back to the antechamber here then. How are you approaching it from the
I think water plan.
ways that are listed?
Water plan, and then maybe have someone. So
Cannon.
Cannon
Well,
would lose velocity if we shoot.
You're also on the other side of the planet, Ragnor.
Yeah, you're very quiet.
Yeah,
now.
I know. Sorry.
There you are.
There we go. Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was saying, wouldn't the cannonballs lose at least some of their velocity if we shot them into the water?
The way I'm
Yeah, but
seeing
they're gonna
it,
get out of the water.
they would make it less through what they would normally make it through, but they would still go a good distance. That's a lot
Okay.
of power.
Wait, but after okay, so hypothetically we start drowning him, right? You freeze them. Could you put the cannon on top?
Don't just point blank it.
I'm not
Just
strong
put it-
enough to lift that up there. I don't think.
No, you get on top of the ice and then you do it. Because like right, we're walking on this ice and you put it on that.
The cannon
And
is
then
going to
just blast
take
them.
the cannon is going to take a round to go off. The fuse must be lit to trigger the cannon going off.
Also, I only have 2 spell slots. I don't want to use it just to run around in the water.
Okay, now fair enough.
I was more thinking about like you raise it 20 feet, I death grip somebody while I'm standing on the ice, but death grip never works. So, I don't use it as much. But I mean, they'll have to get out of the water anyway. So
Yeah, that would be their priority, or perish. So. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do water. I'm team Ragnor is team water.
So are you guys just gonna go in there then, and then I guess can I?
See, we
should
can
I
all the okay. So our we go in. We make them seem like we're coming in unprepared, and then march us the water.
Yeah, I'll hit him with a tidal wave, and the turn after that, I'll start flooding.
I will make you guys aware of underwater combat rules if you do decide to go into the water and fight. Melee weapon attacks will have disadvantage.
Projectile.
I could just start biting people. I don't care.
I'm just giving you guys a heads up now. This is absolutely still your call.
I dare say the enemies being surrounded by water might prove a little bit interesting with ice magic.
Do you have ice magic? No, that's fine. That's fine.
A ranged weapon attack automatically misses the target beyond the weapon's normal range. So if you try to go into long range with ranged weapon attacks,
It just misses.
it's going to miss. Yes.
I think
But what
that's
if
where
your
I like,
normal
velocity.
range is sharp?
I was gonna say I know your
Is
normal
there a
range is
sharpshooter?
stupid. Yeah.
we know you're gonna kill him.
Oh my gosh! If I dash, I swim like Michael Phelps.
Don't worry about it. Yeah,
I'm
You know
going
you're
through.
going to
I
kill them.
literally had to look up underwater combat rules for this encounter. All right.
I'm also
having
gonna
a look.
try.
because I do have the
basically,
mobile feet.
yes.
So if I dash, do I just like I'm like an Olympic swimmer through there?
Let's have a look. 5e.
Because I guess
Not because
swimming
that's
is different
effectively
than
a swim
difficult
speed.
terrain.
Yeah.
Guys, I just want everyone to know that I do have a max attack right now. Like, if I hit everything, and I used everything, I could do 10 d10 plus 17 plus a d6.
They're just dead.
Winter
one
if you
shot.
dash to difficult terrain wouldn't cost you extra movement on your turn.
Let's
That would
just
be a
do
nat,
like
though.
So I
Let's
would
just
say
do,
you
like-
would get your full movement if you. Well, you would get normal movement if you dash. Otherwise, it would probably be half movement, unless you have a special swimming speed. Because water is still resistance to move through.
Can't wait to obliterate that staff.
Think it's still here? Okay.
Can
before we engage in Mario World 3, 4, I don't remember which one I was gonna say, whatever the water level was. Can we take a pee break? I gotta pee.
We can all take a short break real quick before
Okay.
this kicks off. Yeah.
This is combat, and then
So close to playing.
what's everyone's upper limit tonight? I can push to 11 unless my shift magically gets canceled again.
I can go to like 2, 3 a.m.
That's
I
up to
couldn't
y'all.
go that. I
have no
couldn't.
limit.
I could not go that late.
My
I
schedule's
cannot go that late
flex.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the combat might take that long at this rate.
I can go to
my
like
my hard cutoff is like 11:30, and that'd be pushing it.
my hard yeah, pushing it would be 10:30.
Okay. Cool. We're gonna go use the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Just go off whatever Art feels like then. If we're running late,
Samesies.
I'm just glad to
Quick
play
BRB.
D&D again.
Out of curiosity, Cam.
Yes,
I've
well,
heard-
sorry.
I think I asked this before.
Mhm.
Maybe I can't remember if I did. It's been a while. What would happen if I shot that crystal?
So the one you deduced from your checks before when you were in the courtyard, the one
Yeah.
in the courtyard, very big, very sturdy, not invincible, but it would take a lot of time to break through, and
This
that was
one?
time that you probably didn't have here. The one in her staff still seemed like a very durable material. Would even with the damage that you can put out, would probably take more than one shot. It would probably take. This is effectively a magical item. And what you know of magical items is a lot of the times they can take a lot more punishment than just your standard, run-of-the-mill sword or staff.
Right. Okay. Because I might.
It's not impossible to break it, but again, more durable than natural.
Is it weak to eyeballs? Weapons with eyeballs.
Fuck around and find out.
Do I think a magical weapon would do more damage than like just like a standard weapon, or it about the same?
Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? Like some things need to be hit by magical weapons, because then mine would. be
Some
for
things
that.
have magic resistance, yes. Some things are just inherently durable, and this seems like definitely a denser piece of material than what you're used to
Okay.
working with. So again, not impossible, but it would take an immense amount of force.
Because I am now a level 3 fighter, which means I have gunslinger stuff available, which means I have violent shot. Which basically, if I hit, that means I get to add an extra D10 to every hit.
That's fat.
I don't even know what you are anymore. It's just.
Look, at
'Cause
the
it was
beginning of
like-
the campaign,
I only
way
have
too
the
long
ass
for me
dead.
to be like.
I have to
think I chose
expend-
the wrong class. And
I
it
have to
just keeps
expend grip
going.
points. Well, okay, first of
Oh
all,
no, points.
I'm a good I don't want to brag, but I'm a pretty good character builder as far as like
I noticed.
damage goes. It's just how my brain works. So, like I get to, even if I want to make a character that's not good at combat, I always end up doing it just because like I get too excited not to.
watching the pieces fit together does take
Exactly,
a wizard
it's-
brain. I get that.
Exactly.
Okay, but yeah, I am going to go pee real quick.
yeah.
I also DMD bear.
Thank you for letting me know because I don't get notifications. I will check that YMP.
It's my character. I mean, I. that's
Your
fun.
character's kind of good too, though. You have a lot of shit you can do though.
Yeah, it's very bird because I only have 2 spell slots, but they really there's some stank hits.
Oh yeah.
Because Death Grip is like a strength saving throw by them, and let me see,
Does it take a spell slot though?
yeah. So it's like my Obliterate is basically it's a bonus action to buff. It's a smite. It's basically a smite. It's 2d6 cold, 2d6 necrotic.
I thought it was so funny the other day when I smited, or like a while ago I smited, and you're like, you can smite too.
I was just losing my mind. I was like, what
It's not the
can
same
you
kind
do?
of smite though.
Yeah, but in the moment, I was like, what do you mean he's got a level 1 paladin? I don't know what's happening. Because once we get to level 10, I will have... Wait. Oh yeah, my spells are level 3 now. That's...
You could, if you want more spell slots, you could take a level.
Wait, what level are we?
8. I feel like we're
Okay,
at
they're
8
not
now.
level 3 yet then.
Um,
Yeah, at next level, my my runes, which is 2 spell slots, they go to level 3. All of the
Okay.
spells, so it's like Warlock spell slots at that point. But then at level 10, I get a 3rd spell slot.
okay.
And now I can regenerate them. I think I just need like an hour break or something, or let me see. I think I can spend hit die soon to refund.
If you wanted more spell slots, though, you could always look at like I don't know, like a sorcerer or something. You could probably do something that like thematically makes
Oh no, I'm
sense with your character.
full in on Death Knight.
I was sure, but you could. There are things that like would actually go with like shadow magic or like.
No, but like because I chose like because even Death Knight
Is there like
choose
a level
Blood
20?
Frost or Unholy.
Mhm.
Yeah, at level 20, I do what is it?
I was just offering if you ever wanted more spell slots to do more stuff, like you can go into other like classes and get those. But if you're
At level
committed
20,
to-
I get Master of Death, and like my soul goes into my rune weapon, and then when somebody
Nice.
picks it up, I can take over their body and take their stats.
damn.
I was
So
gonna say, I know that's why Coffee Lock is so fucking nuts. Is because people
I
will
was-
do a Sorcerer Warlock and then just like I don't know exactly the math behind it, but I know that they can effectively just keep getting spell slots back really fast.
basically, I
Mhm.
decided
And
You
so
need
that.
quicken spell and
Yeah.
Basically, I decided that reading through all my abilities, I'm sure there's ways I can really break it with like
All right, I'm back.
a multi-classing, but I
Okay.
figured that's not what this is designed for. Like, this is like a homebrew thing. I don't
Exactly.
want to like
Yeah.
take that and like, you know,
Abuse it.
because I was thinking about, I was
Yeah.
like, I could just go barbarian, get rage, like I only have 2 spell slots, and then I just
Dude.
rip ass.
Dude,
Not raging.
the desire in my brain to take alert and then go assassin after this is so high, but it doesn't make sense for my character. Because I would be
Right.
if I roll good on my initiative, I auto crit on my
So
first attack.
ridiculous.
It's
That's so
like-
ridiculous.
So I
Fantastic.
could guarantee 10d10 on a shot on that first shot.
Who
job.
knows? Not me.
So I do
Right.
get that like wanting to break your like having the ability to break your character. And you're like, I don't need to do this. This doesn't make sense.
Every time for me, it just, as much as I want to like, part of my brain wants to munchkin every time, but then like I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, how can I just like, not nerf myself now, but how can I maximize the limitations of what this character would naturally be capable of,
Right.
like within
Right.
like what makes sense for them, and that's what I think is really fun.
Just think Death Knights are cool, so I just want
Oh, Death Knights are
Oh,
cool
yeah,
as fuck.
absolutely.
Level 10, I get 1 AC. Holy.
Oh, you just get an AC.
I
Nice.
just get an AC.
What's your AC
My
right now,
big
Phil?
like
18.
desk-sized mouse pad is of Arthas.
Nice.
And let's see. It's just cool thematic stuff. Like at level 11, I get Scent of Blood. Whenever a creature within 20 feet of me is reduced to 0 hit points, I get an advantage on my next attack. It's very thematic.
And so you don't have to kill them in that case.
Yeah, they just die near me.
Right?
Interesting.
Oh, I am here, by the way.
Nice. Okay. I will ask you guys then. One thing at a time. What entrance do you plan on approaching from?
I think for this plan to work, we have to lull them into thinking they have the upper hand, so main entrance is my thought.
Probably just thought I'd get in there.
How do we get here?
Can I, Yeah, you know, that's fine, yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna be the crab. I still have one more wild shape, in case.
The one issue is, surely it'll take a while for the door to close behind us, within which time they'll
Just keep
probably
them
have
busy,
closed
just-
distance and be attacking us, right?
Just talk to them, obviously. They want to chat. Come on.
Ooh, yeah, okay, we can make them do the villain monologue. Who has high
Do you
charisma
think
here?
the demons will wait long enough for the drow woman to give a long speech of how evil they are?
Yeah.
Here's a talker. I look at Art and Trent. Do you two think you could, for lack of a better term, keep her yapping?
I think that's definitely a Trent thing. I mean, I can do my best, but I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I am not the most talkative of people. Art literally has a 0 in charisma.
And Ragnor is no stranger to political forums and what have you. So Ragnor could also feign like relinquishing the house or feign not or negotiations.
Could he?
When, his charisma stat.
Winter has
says-
a 18 charisma.
No, I mean like
but the player doesn't.
No, actually,
But the
well,
player
13.
I,
That's
I don't
the-
know.
It's not-
that's
it's not
the
worst in
eternal-
world.
that's the
But
eternal
no.
intelligence problem. My character's
no,
a
you're
genius,
Playing
but I'm not.
intelligence characters, yeah.
No, but you're correct because at a certain point you just get pissed off and try to snap her neck. So.
Hell.
I mean, I would just bluff and be like, "Do you know who I am?" And then I don't know, maybe Bear will tell me through them. But
I mean, I can always try to keep her talking, but I'm not too sure what I talk about with the drow.
All right.
That's first
All right.
step.
Let's not get political here.
Maybe the charisma.
No, I just meant I don't really know much about them aside from.
fair.
Kinda-
Ragnar starts sweating about like the plaque.
I'm not gonna lie, Equilibrium. You did say drow a little bit strange.
Yeah, a little hard on that D.
The plaque on the
Yeah,
plaque
seems
on
a
the front
little
of House
charged.
Ragnar. That's like all welcome. He's like, oh god, okay. Ugh. Yeah, cool. Let's do it. I think that's the game plan.
do we bring a cannon through? We have that.
I mean, it's in your pocket, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
This is roughly the size of a regular cannon right now because it's shrunk down and you're
oh.
holding enlarge reduce.
You know, you
Uh,
probably don't need the cannon unless you really want the cannon.
We're like I said, we like options here, and hell, if it comes to it, you could throw it as a reduce, and then enlarge it in the air and smash someone with it.
Pretty big.
A point of contention. Enlarge reduces concentration for up to 1 minute.
Oh, it's back to normal pretty
So
soon.
yeah, by this point, it's probably like
You'll get
down
out the
around
door.
this area in the room, and yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it is back to being like a 10-foot tall cannon, like 12-foot tall cannon.
Fuck.
Well, I don't know, maybe we got to run back to it.
Well, I guess we can do the water thing and fuck it, send it.
I mean,
I like the
either way,
bullpuppy
we'll just get in there. We'll get the door closed. Don't worry about it. One of you strong bitches close the door. I'll tidal wave the center. We fucking go. Let's get it. Let's eat.
I'm
Let's do
down.
it. Yeah, we gotta start
I'm
combat.
a crab.
Let's do it.
You know where that circle was, Cam?
Yes.
That circle, you know, the tidal wave fucking rendition to get to that point. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
When I walk in that door, that's what we're doing. Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay.
Ragnar kind of like, yeah. All right, break. And let's do it.
Is those
Into
46s or 48s?
The boss arena here.
48s.
Alright, so you guys are going straight up the main stairwell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
think
damn
there's
it,
a point-
brother.
I don't think there's a point in doing anything else.
Alright. So, you hold up the Ragnor family crest to the marble door. Gets a faint red glow to it and opens. Slowly. You see the large stairwell leading up to the 3rd floor, the Archon's chambers of House Ragnor. Now, there is another door at the top of this. Are you just going in? Are you just opening the door?
Yeah, we're getting in
Yep.
there.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be the one to open it.
You can let it like partially when we get through and then close it, right? You don't have to like.
Right. I'll open it up so we all get through it. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
The way they have been operating is they have been opening, and then, like, when the crest is removed, they've been
They start to
closing
close.
behind you. Yes. And you notice the second you walk in, it's a case of all eyes are immediately on you as the door opens. And you notice, except for actually the lady in the back of the room,
Just
Who appears to
fucking
be-
swing out and say, "What up, bitches?"
circling around the throne itself. But you do hear her voice from the back,
She would run.
ringing out. It's nice of you to finally join us. I'm just digging through old heirlooms till I find the one that I need. You wouldn't happen to know where it is, would you, Mr. Ragnor? A certain blade.
When they bring out the blade, Ragnar's like kind of cocky leader demeanor instantly fades.
So you do
And he looks
know.
at, and he looks over at the Mount Claw. I think I can't speak for my allies here, but if they knew what I knew about that blade, I'd sooner blow not even House Ragnor. I'd sooner blow Eminence itself to smithereens before you get your hands on that blade.
Oh, and what would be the point in that, Mr. Ragnor? If we are to get a foothold in Eminence for my good lady, we will need it intact, will we not? You see she kind of, like, waves her staff over the back of the, throne. You see the gem begin to light up and almost, like, magnetize to the back of it. Ah. And you watch as her arm turns into this yellow, mucusy, almost like spear-like protrusion and juts into the back of the throne and yanks out this... Go ahead.
Ragnar looks back at the rest of Mount Claw. Change the plans. If she pulls out this blade, or if she finds a way to get it, it doesn't matter what we had. Do not let her touch it. If she touches it, this fight is over.
Can I shoot her?
You can certainly take a shot, yeah. She is
Perfect.
currently digging her arm into the back of this large, like,
I'm looking at her.
upholstered throne.
I'm looking around at the rest of Mount Claw. Like, are we going or what's going on?
Yeah, Ragnar just starts charging.
All right. Yeah. I'm
Okay. I would
like
like
to shoot at this
everybody.
lady.
I would like everybody to roll initiative because this isn't necessarily a surprise. This is everything in the room was looking at you up to this point,
Fair enough.
and you do see, you see Lord Autres go from being somewhat relieved to seeing all of your presence to seeing Art raise his gun and him immediately just like his eyes bulging. He just goes, "No,
Dude.
wait!"
Same. Oh, I gotta walk away.
Second. Gotta get
Average
those.
art roll.
Actually, for John, this is the best I've ever rolled on initiative ever.
Oh, I thought that was
let's
like just
see.
your attack. I forget.
To give you
No,
guys your
He crit his movement. Oh, no.
It's plus.
control
I-
tokens real quick.
It's plus Dex, right? For
Mm-hmm.
proof or yeah.
If you didn't ask, I was going to.
Let's see.
Hey, we'll take that.
Average winter roll.
Gunnar, do you have control over your token by default?
Yes.
Okay, giving everybody else control
Yeah.
right now. Everybody else should have theirs now.
I'm just gonna start next to Ragnor. Alright.
Now you get your ass back down there. Stop that.
Can I start with it? Can I start with the gym in my hand?
Yeah, as a matter of. Wait a minute. Add turn. There we go. I should.
Defend the blessed giver.
Very good.
Ragnor will also yell out, "None of you touch it either. If it hits physical contact with a living thing, it's over.
So I'll grab it.
Like the whole sword?
The handle, anything. If someone touches it, it's bad news."
Like how?
I feel like you could have warned me.
Cataclysmic bad news. World-ending bad news.
I'm pretty chill. up
What
until
if
this
it?
point.
So if it touches metal, what happens?
I look over at Trent's metal. Alright, not Trent. I look over at Art's metal arm. I'll be honest. Haven't thought of that. We have a container we transfer it with.
Okay. Well, I have so many tabs.
Good luck. Keep track of all those things. Those enemies. I'd meant to like
Not too worried
just.
about
I'd meant to just do my thing already. I forgot.
It's okay. If we
I got
nuke all
thrown
the
off by the
enemies
sword.
fast enough, he has less to worry about.
it. Has happened before.
Okay. The good thing is the crab's going early.
Yes.
Wait, why is Equilibrium on there twice with a 14 and a 15?
I don't know. I should only be on there with a 14.
Only with a 14, okay. I think it's old ones, hold on. So I haven't put anybody else's on yet. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Trent.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So the general gist of what has happened, I'm gonna catch Trent up real quick while I get initiatives down here. General gist. The party has walked into the room. Lord Autress and the fake Ragnor seem very disturbed at the situation, as the large drow woman has this yellow ichor dripping down her extremities and like over her robes, and you watch as one of her arms essentially turned into a yellow mucusy spear, essentially, as she was discussing with Ragnor, particularly asking him where a certain blade was. And you watched as she raised her staff to the back of the throne itself, and the crystal began to glow. She jutted her arm into the back of the throne, and that's where Art took a shot at her, and combat is now kicking off.
So should he had rolled the attack because he did that first, or?
We're gonna let that go first, basically.
Okay.
But it's not a full surprise round because everything in here was very intent on keeping an eye on you during this.
Wow, we looked so friendly.
All right. Big 24 for Art, so it does make sense. And March Crab got 18 as well. Merge.
Merge.
Ragnor got a 17. Trent, if you would like to go ahead and roll an initiative for me, please. Oh no, we got that.
He rolled.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, I did not see that. Trent got a 7.
Oh, no, let him reroll.
Everybody is blessed, by the way. Remember, keep that in mind.
Bless up.
I will do my best to remind, because I know Dan normally does the reminding on that. I assume he will also type in chat if it does, like, fall off. Or if it does, like, come up, become
We're gonna
a
be
thing.
10.
Yeah, so we got art of 20. Yeah, I got a 10. That was the only one I was missing. Oh. I need one for these boys. Da-ba-da.
I think you put too much in this room, to be honest.
I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. I don't think I put enough in this room, as a matter of fact.
More.
More!
I do have one rule question.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something called piercing shot.
Yes.
It says on a hit, the creature suffers normal damage, and you make an attack roll with disadvantage against every creature in a line directly behind the target within your first range increment. Out of curiosity, if I have advantage going into that shot, would that nullify the disadvantage or no? I can see it either way.
Oh wait, shit! I didn't roll.
I would
twice.
say it
Should
would
I
be
roll
a-
again? Should I
if
roll
you have
again
advantage.
for some fan?
Advantage for what? Ragnor?
Should I roll? You had mentioned disadvantage. So should I roll again? Roll initiative again on disadvantage? I only rolled once.
I don't remember why I had disadvantage on you for anything.
Oh no,
above
you
one.
okay? Never mind. We're good.
The
I
sickness.
misunderstood.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're
fine.
good. John, I would honestly say, in terms of that, I would say if you have advantage on the first shot, if the rest of them are on disadvantage, I would say just make the rest as a straight roll.
Girls, okay.
Okay, so I believe we have everything set up here. Art, you are taking a shot at the big lady in the back that is currently
Yeah.
reaching into the back of the throne. Understood.
I did declare that, yeah.
If you'd like to go ahead and take your shot.
I will do that with a bonus action from my good friend 6'8".
Alrighty.
And I want to declare sharpshooter on that. And I'm going to expend 2 grit points for violent shot. So if I hit, that's going to be 2 extra d10 on that.
Understood.
Sure.
Big number.
She explodes.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
He's mortal.
Oh wait, I have bless too.
You do have bless, so that will be added to the best roll.
18.
Oh,
18.
Do you want me to miss?
I'm jealous.
He's immortal.
I spent 2 turns walking to her.
I spent 2.
You actually feel like you're hearing what Ragnor is saying about this blade, and you're like starting to like lose focus just a little bit, and you feel your arm drift just a bit, enough from the distraction as Trent's magic just ever so slightly feels like a hand nudging your forearm back in the right direction, as the bless does make a difference and you connect.
Bard diff, actually bard diff.
Actually, Bard diff.
Okay, so that's going to be, I'm just going to roll the 3d10. No, I'll add everything after that. Alright, that's 16 plus 10 is 26 plus 7 is 35, and then I have a d6 because I still have Arcane Weapon on. That's, what did I say, 36? Is that 36 total?
I believe so.
It was 16 plus 10 plus 7 plus 1.
26, yeah, 34 damage, 34 damage.
understood. Get that down real quick. Is there anything else you'll be doing with your turn?
I'm actually gonna back up and come around this way. Since I am pretty close to these guys.
Gotcha.
And that'll be it.
And you actually, before you give us back in your pack, like, instinctively, you see 6-8 kind of like the LED, like, esque displays on his, monitor kind of, like, open up and scan the room. As he's scanning, he's just like, what have you gotten yourself into? And immediately tucks back into the pack.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Got room for me in there?
Marge, you will be going the same time as Lady Uera at this point, so I will let you act first if you would like.
As well,
Or, sorry, Crab.
would me moving the circle back a bit hit her and cause her to have to do a tidal wave dexterity saving throw?
Where are you able
I
to
just
start it? Like, where are you wanting to...
Oh, I have a range of 120 feet. I basically just need it so that way it's hitting her, I guess, then.
Right. So... I was gonna say, let me use the measuring tool real quick.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
It's a
Cam,
30-foot line, right? Yes, sorry. What's
Real
up?
quick,
Yeah.
I forgot to do my second shot.
You don't get
Yes.
that.
Did I do that?
Late.
No, it's actually been
After-
flipping. The crab
Okay.
gets the gun and it gets to take the second shot as a matter of
Thank
fact.
you.
Gun, please. Take it,
slam
Crab. I bow down to Crab.
I'm for crab.
I was gonna
Tally
say,
ho!
tally ho, Goodman. Go ahead and take your second shot, and I will measure out the tidal wave distance.
Never
in the
mind.
meantime.
Don't worry about it.
Oof. You hear 6-8 say that, and it kind of like the doubt creeps back in, and you're like, you fire off and like chip the gargoyle head in the back of the room. You're just like, God. He's just like, my bad. Alright, so we've got that. The line. So you've got about like, that's like the lowest starting point you could do that would actually get to her. And this is 10 feet wide, right?
Yes.
I will ask you this. Would you like to hit the fake Ragnor, or no? Would you like to include
no.
him in being hit by this? Because you would be able to put it over here, and with it being 10 feet wide, it would hit all of the, everything else in the line,
I
but it
don't
would not
really
hit the
care.
Ragnor. It's up to you. So,
I don't
throwing
care
him in
if
there?
it's a fake
Alright,
Ragnor.
gotcha.
You might as well. Hit as much as possible. Fuck it.
Deserves it.
Okay. You already rolled your damage for this tidal wave, correct, preemptively?
Yeah, I was 22.
22. Alright. And this is a dex saving throw, I believe, correct?
It was a dex saving throw, correct.
Gotcha. Let me get that for the boys here. It'll be 2 of these. And then it rolls. And your DC is, I believe, 16 now? 15 or 16? Somewhere in that ballpark.
16, yes.
16, so they both fail. Both of the
That's
Shadow
fucking
Demons
good.
fail. The
They took
Hellhound,
full damage and they
Yep.
will be knocked prone.
they will. The Hellhound will also take full damage and be knocked prone.
Hell yeah.
Then Eulira will also take full damage and be knocked prone. Actually, let me have a look here. I need to make sure that she can be knocked prone. Yes, she sure can. Okay. So yeah, everything there is going to take 22. Get that down real quick. Okay. Okay, that's all the damage, and all of them will effectively be knocked onto the floor, and you watch as these demons that, like, the ones that were watching you from here kind of turn to look behind them and notice the surging wave form at this point and blast back. Oh, I need to do fake Ragnor as well.
Yeah, don't forget him.
Yep. Also
Fan
fails.
favorite.
Let's go. That's probably
Hold on,
the
danger
most.
sense. Okay.
Fuck,
Also
man.
fails.
That was probably the most effective CC I've had this entire
Let's
campaign.
go.
That was fat.
Hit everyone. Fuck, bro.
It's also taking full damage.
Oh,
He
that's
is
22
not
points of
raging.
damage to a fucking whole group of people,
Nice.
bro. Oh, dang.
Yo, I'm gonna swing my axe.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
right.
won't do that? You walk
actually- So you watch as these shadow demons kind of like splay out onto the floor, and it's like their inky black substance that they're made of kind of like sticks to the floor almost and kind of scatters out. And it looks like their essence is trying to pull itself back together. They're still going, but it took a chunk out of them. Same with the Hellhound. The Hellhound is kind of like splayed out, looking like a baby deer trying to stand. And with Lady Ulira, you watch as she gets knocked down, you see in her arm that was jutted into the back of the throne on the spot is also pulled out of the back of the throne with a large leaden case of some sort in her hand.
Ragnor. Ragnor. There's a case.
Say that again. Hold on.
There's a case. There's a case that came out of the back of the throne.
When she was knocked over, when the large lady in the back of the room was knocked over, there was a large lead case in her like mucusy spike hand.
Ragnar's fangs immediately bare, like he looks like when the hunger is starting to take over. He looks over at everyone and once again is like, "Only I can touch that blade. If anyone who doesn't have Ragnar blood touches that blade, the world will end."
It's a weird caveat to add onto your blades. I'm not
You're
gonna
saying
lie.
It's
it'll
a-
make you strong.
I usually just make mine out of metal, but it's whatever, dude.
I'll have plenty of Ragnar blood all over this chamber the second I'm done with you. And you see she raises the staff as she like. It's weird. Her form shifts into this like her skin has this like yellow pouring out of every single pore at this point. As she shifts back into this almost yellow tree like mucusy creature with a single red eye in the back of it.
Oh my god. So
And you
what? She
see-
just she proned into a weird creature, into a fucking Resident Evil monster?
Essentially, she looks
We
like
strapped AK-47s to it.
she looks. The best way I can describe it is she looks like a broken dead tree made of mucusy material with a large red eye toward the top of it,
Huh.
with one extremity almost like a tentacle. Go to God, yeah.
Yeah, fact.
One extremity holding the
fuck?
staff and one extremity holding the leaden case, and you see the arm looks like it's trying to devour the case and whatever is within it. But as she gets up and raises the staff, I am going to need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
No, man. I just started.
And I am also going to have to make them for Fake Nor and Lord Autres.
Okay.
I don't think even Bless would help me with that.
Oh yeah, I'll roll my bless. It's a D4, right?
And we're taking a natural 20.
I don't even look at my rolls. Just don't even worry about it.
Whew, buddy.
It's 2 nat 1s though. 2 nat 1s. Did anyone pass this?
I did. Probably.
Of course he did.
I rolled a natural 20.
So,
Can I say something real quick
uh,
before this happens? Like before the blast is going to
Ragnar-
happen regardless.
Ragnar, yes,
But-
Ragnar, you can say something as this happens.
I look over to Art or Trent because Ragnar in this moment realizes something. The vial. The vial I gave one of you. Throw it to me. And then
Oh, shit, I drank that.
Oopsie doopsie.
I think you have it, Dan.
And as Ragnor gets that out, this is a serious question. Did anybody pass a DC of 20 on their Constitution saving throw?
I hit exactly 20.
You hit exactly 20. Okay.
With
Is
Wes,
this-
I hit exactly 20.
Just for the record, this Constitution, is this air based?
This is not air-based.
Okay, just to make sure. Then, I think we're.
You watch as, from the ceiling of this room, which has several skylights in it, it's as though every skylight in the room is covered over in shadow. And you watch as,
Perfect.
as this is covered over, it feels like gravity has tripled on anybody who has failed their saving throw. You cannot move from your spot. You are considered restrained for the sake of the current point in time.
That's rude. What does that do?
And it is
Besides not
very
being able to-
difficult to... It's difficult to move your limbs, essentially. You are basically locked in place. Except for Art, who got an exact 20. Meets it, beats it. Maybe we'll go over more of that as we go. And she is going to shamble her way up. With this as well, you watch, and you feel like, in the case of a few of you, some of you, like, I'll let you decide yourself, being locked in place based on how strong your character is or how well do you think that they could take this force. It feels like your knees want to buckle. It is immense, the weight pressing down on you right now. But yeah, you watch as Fake Nor immediately...
happening. Oh, Jesus.
You watch as Fake Nor immediately just face plants to the floor and appears to go unconscious after that tidal wave as well. And she simply strides over him, seeming to not care what happens to him. Begins making her way up to here. Lord Autress, same thing, is immediately like brought to his knees. And you see him like, for a moment he looks like he's choking and gasping for air because he's not sure exactly what's pressing down on him. But like, he looks like he's hyperventilating on the spot as well, just being in close proximity to this. But he is not unconscious. He is okay. At this point, Ragnor,
Yeah.
you can
What's
attempt to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, give me a second. Oh, God. Yeah.
I will also say, anybody who hasn't taken an action yet can give me a perception check, as you weren't actively engaged in combat at this point. So anybody who hasn't had a turn yet, which would be, at this point, Ragnor,
most of us.
Equilibrium, Winter, and Trent.
Where's the, I got kicked out of the YouTube thing. How do I rejoin it?
Nice. It should be the little join activity button at the bottom.
I like Equilibrium.
Yes, this floor appears to be made of floor.
And you were looking at the floor as this happened, which is why you wouldn't see it. My brand. Was that Winter's perception as well? Was the 8 total?
Yeah, I always add a D4 to it.
Gotcha. Making sure.
Although usually the D4 is higher than the other.
Perception.
Great.
Perception.
Yep. Go ahead, give me a perception before anything happens.
Yes, based off of Ragnar's favorite stat, wisdom.
So, and you were saying whatever is like restraining us is like
A -1.
noticeably
Let's go.
stronger near her, probably.
It seems so. It seems like Lord Autress is having trouble breathing, being
Ragnar
that close
actually
to her.
loses knowledge of his manor.
and you actually watch as Fake Nor, as he is slammed to the ground, like, you just see a look of almost like pressure from behind his head as his eyes are bulging. It's horrifying. His eyes immediately go bloodshot, and he is stuck with that horrified expression, face toward you, slammed to the ground, as he is knocked unconscious. She looks to be
let me
beginning to
make my
her way
con
towards
save
you.
real quick.
Yeah, please go ahead and try to make your Constitution save. As this is happening, though, Trent, you notice as she raises the staff and you begin to look up at the shadows on the ceiling, you see, through the skylights, about 3 hooded figures in cloaks. You see one motioning to the others with a glint of green eyes at a large blackened dome that appears to be in the general area
It's
of
specifically
this
saving
corner of
throw,
the room.
correct?
Yes.
Sweet, I got a bonus on
And you watch all 3 of them throw something in the direction of this darkened dome that appears to be on the roof before the skylights are blocked out.
that. That is not a 20, so I doubt I passed. I got a 13. I got a 13 on that.
13 total.
Yep.
You are still confined and locked in place, I'm afraid. And you just hear her voice ringing in your mind at this point. Struggle all you want, little lordling. I can sense the tainted blood within you. I'm not going anywhere. Dad's not coming home. Is there anything you would like to attempt to say through even speaking
Yeah.
is difficult at this point?
To her, I just say, to her, I say,
Where did you get these spells? These are specifically made to kill Ragnors.
and then to the party, I look over to them, and he kind of looks disappointed at himself. And he's like,
I should have told you about why the manor is where it's at and what the armory is actually a front for. All of this is built to protect that sword. To seal that sword.
Put it under a chair.
And your pride will be your downfall, thinking that your Archon could protect such a powerful artifact that you simply left laying around. Imagine if somebody did their research and walked in while the owner wasn't home. And that is going to be the end of that turn. Equilibrium.
So does she have the case right now? You said.
She
or
has
no?
the case in
it's
one.
out. The
She
case
has
is
the
out.
case
Yeah.
in one extremity. It is not open yet.
How
And she
big is
has
it?
the. It's probably a good I'd say 5 to 6 feet long from here. Can't quite tell, but it appears to be made of a heavy metal like lead. And even with that, knowing what you know about artificing work art, for a gemstone like the one she has to react to something through that heavy of a case, it's got to be pretty powerful. Ragnor's not bluffing.
We've gotten ourselves in.
Yeah, you are into Ragnor lore shit that Cam and I have been discussing. So
She's into it.
The Ragnor.
Raglor.
But yeah, equilibrium. I would say with this, you can give me a Constitution saving throw if you would like to be able to, at the very least, gain control of your limbs.
Yep. I'll attempt to do so. And 1d4 bless.
This is with no bless.
Oh,
Sadly.
but no bless. Oh, okay. Well,
Trent is
No.
still
17.
blessed. With a 17, it will not save you. You are able to speak. Painfully so, but you are able to speak if you would like to. If there's anything you would like to say to anyone.
Nothing I can think of right now.
all good
Ragnor,
on me.
you've got a lot to explain once we're out of here.
Alright. Winter. Please give me a Constitution saving throw, if you would like.
And we all die.
You feel your muscles tensing, and you actually feel at this point the amulet on your necklace beginning to burn again. And you hear a very strained voice in your head, almost like through radio static, as though the signal's not quite getting through. You need to get out of there right now. I don't know what you're doing, and then it kind of cuts out.
Does that sound like a help action? Do I get an advantage? No.
I am afraid not. You do, like, those around would notice that Winter, like, is starting to get this, like, frost along his arms, though, like, more than normal, as, like, you've seen him strain before. This is a level of, like, muscular straining that, like, he is putting his all into. And it's still just, it's just coalescing on the spot and not budging.
So I wouldn't be able to, like, do anything, I guess.
You can very carefully speak. It hurts to speak.
No, I mean, next.
Alright.
Blow my horn, man.
As the shadow demons begin to make their way around, all of them seem to be awaiting command at this point. And simply holding.
Hey, actually, never mind. Not in range. Never mind. Never mind. I was like, Death Grip's only. That's not perfect. Double.
They seem to be waiting, just staring you all down at the moment. The Hellhounds also kind of like looking. You hear from Lydia Lyra, dispose of them as you wish. And this one immediately reaches down with its neck and snaps its teeth into a Ragnor. He is going to take 2 failed death saving throws.
Is it hitting their side?
This one is going to simply sit by and wait and watch Lord Atreus as he looks like he's going to be done in soon enough, so it's simply going to wait. We come to Trent. If you would give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Alright.
That dice cucked.
It's,
What's up with
yeah,
that?
Ed is cocked as fuck. Trent, is there anything you would like to say to anyone in the room currently?
Yeah, hey.
Pain. Very fair. Absolutely. Okay. Cast Bless because it's only verbal. Okay.
Fun.
And Dan. So everybody re-ups Bless.
Power word kill.
Perfect. Well, inspire Ragnor. Gotcha.
Starts fucking humming a melody that just gets all the homies ready to go.
Does anybody have a bag of holding?
Not
I know.
on me.
We got like a bag of holding from Wish or something, don't we?
We got a bag of old D's.
Oh my god, what's a D's?
Hold these L's.
Oh,
So that's a no on the bag of holding?
That's a no on the bag of holding. Absolutely not.
right.
I'm a crab. I don't
Aw.
have pockets, homie.
Ragnar feels a warmth and Trent says he's proud of him.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh,
Fucking hell, bro.
that's definitely advantage with love, you know.
He has the bag.
Does have a handy
Right now has a
haversack,
bag of
yes.
holding.
Yep, basically. It can just hold a
Well,
little more.
I thought it was legitimately like a weaker version of it.
Nah, it's better.
Can you hand it to me?
Or you can take it off of me.
I need that. If you
got
use,
you.
I don't care if you use that vial or use that bag. I need that fucking vial for if.
Like,
Don't break that.
I say Art is the only one that can currently move.
so they can't move their arms or anything?
No,
It
we're like
seems
it's like
so. Everyone.
But it's a
It's-
backpack, right? You just go up and open it.
You would be able to fish items out of it, just like a bag of holding.
The winner actually fed it to his ferret.
How would you feel about this sword going to the astral plane? Out of curiosity.
Will it destroy the
Are
astral
you
plane?
asking me, Ragnor?
Yeah.
It is better than any physical being touching it.
Right.
And,
it's
and
only verbal.
whatever it takes, avoid physical contact with it. Whatever it takes, it will try to make you touch it. It will talk to you. If she opens that case, also avert your eyes. It might glow and blind you.
Good God, bro. What the fuck else? Is it gonna fucking take my credit? Do fucking
You were just adventuring?
goddamn steal my identity, bro? What the hell?
And
Gonna fuck my
Ragnar,
life
as you're,
too? Like, what's that?
Ragnar, as you're telling them that, you do hear in the back of your head from the hunger itself. Do not spoil the fun, lordling. You were the one who partook in void blood at the beginning of your journey, were you not?
I needed it to be stronger.
And you think back to the courtyard at your very first trial in your team building exercise, where you feasted upon a gargoyle. Had that foul taste into your mouth. It's been stuck there at least a little bit with every meal ever since. Crap, that's like 500 credit score. Damn! Alright, we come to Art. What would you like to do?
Okay. Ragnor, what
Give
is
me
this
just
potion?
1 second.
What is
I can
this
hear, I
vial?
just need to step away for a second.
What'd you say? What'd you ask?
What is this vial?
It is the answer to this problem. Let me drink it.
What does it do?
It will release my inhibitions to the hunger.
Oh damn! You remember when you just bit Marge? Pepperidge Farm, remember?
I have a mixture of not magic, but herbs and other anti-vampiric materials that I've been ingesting for the most of my life. That this will cleanse.
And will you ever be the same?
No. I will become a vampire lord.
Will you be able to keep yourself restrained and in check after drinking the vial?
I will do what I can for my people.
Yeah, or just kill them all. You don't need the vial.
Alright, as this is happening as well, all you can think is there are a million scenarios running through your head of how the outcomes of this play out. And you do remember that, based on what Ragnor was saying, the weapon in her hand currently could potentially not raise necessarily, but cause significant damage to Eminence and potentially beyond as well. If she is able to get into that case. This is up to you.
Can I do an insight check? So this staff that she has, is this something that's like allowing her to transform, or is this just her?
I would say,
Or an Arcana check, anything like that.
this is not something necessarily that you'd be super familiar with, so I would say either Arcana based on the staff or Nature based on the actual creature wielding it.
That is a 19 for Arcana.
Or Arcana. Based on what you know of like spells that polymorph and spells that transform things shape, it didn't look like the staff itself was what caused her to change shape. This looks like a denizen of the Underdark that was either found this weapon or was granted this weapon. And it is, as Ragnor stated, both that staff and that sword, especially together, seem immensely powerful, if what you are feeling right now is anything to go off of.
If you had to put a weight value on this chest container, how heavy would you say it is?
The sword itself is heavy.
Considering the case itself looks to be made of lead, and it is a good 6 feet long, and it probably takes a Ragnor or two to move it, over
Would you say
100
it's more...
pounds.
Okay, but less than 500?
That's up to a Ragnor question. I believe that otherwise there.
I'd say the sword's a good 150 pounds. So the case is probably like 300, all things considered.
Okay, that's
So
450.
under 500, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so here's what we're doing. If I cast Levitate on this thing, what's it gonna do? How does this happen?
Does Levitate move an object that is being held?
That's the question I was looking at.
Let's have a look at wording real quick just to check. Creature or object of your choice you can see with range-wise is radic up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for duration. Spoken levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. An unwilling creature that succeeds on a Constitution saving throw is unaffected.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of confused.
Let me...
Yeah, you can maybe make the claim that it's an unwilling thing because it's being held.
Yeah, right. That and like
That
that's
and
sort
they're
of some
actively
weird
holding
shit
it.
going on.
Yeah.
What kind of action would it be to give the vial to Ragnor?
To give the vial to Ragnor,
Mhm.
I would say...
Sorry, there's a lot of things I can do here.
There's a lot-
and I'm
you're
trying to
right,
figure
yeah.
out what
right. I'm going
what's
with...
the best course of action.
I'm gonna go with potion rules for this since it's effectively feeding someone a potion.
Mhm.
What
if I'm just
unless
handing
you,
it to him?
If you're just handing it off, I'd say passing it off would probably be a bonus.
Okay. I will bonus action hand that potion to him against
Okay.
my desire.
Are you putting
do
it
so.
now? As is currently, his hands are kind of locked up. Are you like how are you handing it to him? You can definitely give it to him, like, without feeding it to him. But, like,
I'm
where
just
Yeah,
gonna-
there would be a way. Yeah, right.
Whatever
just,
way
like-
I can do it, like putting it next to him, or like putting it in his hand if he can. He can't grip it, right? So probably just put it next to him or something. Or like maybe like in a, I don't know, something
In a rope
in
or
a pocket or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Hopefully you don't need this. And then
Got 100 gun skill. Feed it to
What
him
I'm
like a
gonna-
mama bird.
what I'm gonna do, step up, and I'm gonna take a shot at her. So she's holding you. So she is holding this thing, right? This case.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing on a
Okay.
lot of drawings that other people have made, like worn or carried objects can't be affected by it.
Yep.
But
So
I would,
what I'm. Oh.
I was just gonna say, I would argue, like, if you really wanted to, like, try to focus on that, a contested roll would be possible. But that is up to you if you'd rather do something
Like
else.
fighting her will with yours to move.
What
it,
I,
yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm going to expend another grip point. Use 6-8 to give me advantage on this.
Okay.
And I'm going to use disarming shot. The object I want her to
Okay.
drop is obviously the case.
The case.
That's
okay.
huge. That's huge. That's so huge.
That could be big.
Okay, so I will go ahead and read you. So I'll just do the, let me do the roll just in case it hits. That's a 19 on the die. Roll for Nat. Didn't get it. That's a 29, so that's gonna hit, right?
Yep, that does hit.
I did not do sharp shot on there for that reason though, just to be safe.
Smart.
So let me go into. I have so many tabs open.
Same.
Trick shots. Disarming shot. They have to succeed on a strength saving throw or drop one held object. Let me see what that
A
was.
strength saving throw. Okay.
Which I would imagine is based on my. What would that be based off of? Oh, it's 8 plus your proficiency. Okay, so the 15.
That is 15 for the saving throw.
Yeah, 15 for the save.
All right.
Damn.
Beats it. Beats it.
I'm gonna do it again.
All right.
My second shot. I'm gonna expend my last.
Trent,
grip
hold
point.
on. Trent, we're cutting words.
Oh, Trent, cutting words. Okay.
Effectively, whatever Trent rolls will make this. Will make her fail because the DC was 15. So yeah.
Fucking go cutting words, baby.
Cutting words is so clutch.
You
It's
see,
so good, man.
you see the veins in Trent's
Lord
forehead
death.
bulge as he's like fighting to get the words out, and all he can say, and all you hear rather from a voice that is very much not his, just says "drop," and Trent is gritting his teeth.
Oh fuck yeah, bro. Okay. I guess with that, I'm just gonna take another normal shot at her.
Mhm.
My second shot.
Eventually, Art will.
Well, I didn't even do my damage. I didn't even do my damage for the first one. I'm gonna do that first.
Yeah. And with the first one, you do notice that it connects, and like the weight of the case, it's not necessarily that she dropped it, but like where you hit the structural part of the arm, even though it is very ooze-like, it took enough of the mass out to where the rest of the
so-
weight kind of carried it off and snapped it like a branch
Oh God.
onto the ground, and you just hear a as she yells out, just, "I have been waiting too long for this. You will not have it from me."
That's 11 points of damage on that first one.
Is she
Not really worried
concentrating
about
on whatever's restraining us?
She is, as a matter of fact. That's a good point.
And I'm going to roll my second attack. That's mean an 18
I was gonna say.
plus.
Real quick, how much damage was the first, or did you do damage yet?
It was 11, only 11.
Okay.
Rolled pretty poor on my die, but that's not as important. Now these are 2. That's big.
Okay. And how much damage for the second roll as well?
Let me roll it. Jesus Christ. 11 again.
Okay.
So 22 points total damage.
And as she takes this damage, you watch as several things happen in unison. Really quick, go ahead and tell me what you will do for the rest of your turn, please, if you would.
For the rest of my turn?
A few
Okay.
things are going to happen.
I am going to action surge and use levitate to pick it up.
Okay.
Let me make sure. I don't know how close I have to be for this.
It's a
It's
fire
within
too.
60 feet.
I'm gonna say the ceiling is about like 60 feet up in here. It's a very
Does
large
it
chamber.
say, is the case open?
The case does not look to be open. However,
Thank
the
Christ.
hinges on the back of it have taken severe damage from being in contact
Okay.
with this creature, and it looks like with enough force, it could be brute forced open at the moment.
Bro, where's Arthur LeBlanc? Where did he go?
Please, I'm
There he is.
We're just
Five.
cuddling.
10,
Yeah, you know, cuddle pile, middle of a fight.
5.
Oh, he'll probably be fine up there.
I've seen
I yell out to Trent, it will try to talk to you, be careful. Or not Trent, Art.
And
So it does
as
not
you
get
do get
10
up
feet
there, the case that is now levitating, you do hear whispers from it as it begins to go up in what you can deem now from your adventures and from like what you've heard before is likely abyssal as the case begins levitating.
And then I am going to, now that I have it floating, I'm going to does anything here have what seems to be like a ranged attack?
Everything around you at the moment, of everything that you could see that would have ranged attacks, Lord Autress seems to be choking at the moment, but he does seem to be a caster of sorts. You're not sure what's going on with him, necessarily. But other than that, the only one that seems to have ranged attacks would likely be Lady Lyra herself.
Okay.
Just based on your knowledge.
I'm
As I was
going
saying, you
to
fought the other guys before, so they are strictly melee.
I'm going to Blessing of the Raven Queen on top of the statue, if you allow me.
That's perfectly fine. Kind of like hold on to the head of it.
Yep.
Brace.
And I'm
Yep.
probably trying to hide away, like on the other side of her.
Yep.
Got a
Cool.
shield.
So, several things happen at initiative count 20. The case snaps and drops. Well, her arm snaps at a point and drops to the ground. And you watch as, like, the tendril begins to essentially reform itself, but it was enough to get it out of her grasp for the moment, and it begins levitating. The eye seems to be going every which direction, frantically looking for a solution to this problem. And as she goes to raise her staff, you hear a loud shattering from the back of the room as Trent, what you heard before, whatever those satchels were that got thrown at that dome appeared to have gone off and exploded. And you see the fragments back here that are left of the origin point of the sun hole. Several magnifying fragments fall down and hang from the ceiling and appear to be forcing light into this chamber as the shade overhead from the concentration being broken also begins to lift, and you can see through the skylights again as you see the three figures kind of like kneeling and looking through the skylights, and you just hear a combination of screeching and sizzling from everything in the room as the chamber is filled with this bright red light of what is apparently the power of the amplified sun hole at this point.
It's glorious.
I have been waiting for this.
Said we wouldn't be able to test the sun hole. Do we all just get fireballed or what?
Oh, not quite.
You were hit with plasma damage.
About 60. Everything
Take what
within
is done.
that cone is covered and bathed in a massive burst of light.
It means she's a drow, right?
Yes.
Holy!
What the fuck?
That's a big
The sun
number.
hole was spoken of in legends.
Dude, I'd say so.
Ragnor like forces a smile, like his lips are bleeding, but he's forcing a smile through this shit.
Just looking back at the day that you signed the contract and saw the price, and you're like, man, this will
come in handy one day.
I know that this thing is going to save my life one of these days.
And you just hear shrieks. I'm not gonna make dex save. I'm not gonna make any sort of save for. I think it's con saves actually. Yeah, con. For the shadow demons and the hellhounds that got hit. A good lady though. Okay, so she does save. That is important. Okay. So like a massive magnifying glass frying several ants. Many of these creatures that were in the direct line of this get disintegrated and dusted before your eyes. Including... No, actually, from the angle it was at, the hellhound that was in this position would have blocked the direct light from these two back here. So they didn't take the brunt of it. But she took a massive chunk as well. And you just hear her screaming and, like, looking at the skylights. And you just hear sizzling coming from, and bubbling coming from her skin right now.
She look like she's close to dying, or?
She looks not necessarily, like, very close to death at the moment. And you see that the gem in her staff begins to flare up, like, far more than before. In, like, what appears to be a desperate attempt. But, Marge and Lady O'Leary will be going next. So, Marjorie, what would you like to do? As she is currently about to raise her staff and attempt to cast something again.
Are we restrained?
No, she dropped the restraint. The shadows
Ragnor
have faded from
the
the skylights of the
second
room.
that staff starts to flare up again, Ragnor looks over at Marge and just tells her, "These are Ragnor killing arts. They are designed to kill my people. Be prepared."
Well, that's crap. And second off, I'm gonna just start flooding it. Then.
All right. With the control
How tall
water
is
taking
she?
effect. She's roughly, I'd say, just under 15 feet tall.
Good God!
She's big. Like, in her actual form, she is very large.
Yeah, alright.
So, what we had before was roughly an area of this size, encapsulated in water.
Art is truly the Joseph Joestar of this campaign.
What do you mean?
Just absolute, like, MacGyvering shit.
Disarmed ooze, float box, refuse to elaborate, leave.
I mean, I don't think you understand how much I have. I was thinking for like that entire, because once you guys got frozen, I was like, oh shit, I gotta do something. I gotta cook.
And boy, did he clutch up. Also, in this moment, the sun hole is now shedding bright light into this room. It is
boiling. All right.
Boiling water.
It is no longer dark in here. But yeah, no. With this, I will say, just from the raising, these two kind of get pushed away a little bit toward the outer edge of it. And you still see, while Fake Nor is unconscious, and it is kind of just being limply washed away, and like risen up from the water rising out of the middle of the room from what she took as no more than a puddle a moment ago. You notice Lord Autress also, while he is not restrained anymore, he still looks like he is almost suffocating from just the mere presence of being near her. And now he is actually kind of suffocating from being underwater that he was not prepared for. So he is being washed away just a little bit himself right now, out to about here. She is... Yeah, she is effectively just unable to breathe at the moment. And the eye begins darting around again, looking for a way to effectively do anything. As you watch, she also kind of raises with the water level a little bit, suspended in it.
gonna hold her down under the water, boys. I don't want to have to redo your ceiling, but
That's whatever it takes.
Yeah, no. Seeing that, she is going to attempt to... God. Looking at her options here. She is going to...
Surrender.
Yes.
Surrender.
The gem and the staff is going to flare up immensely. Like, almost turning the entirety of the, like, what looks like this massive watery blob in the middle of the room now. Turning almost this strange, dark, translucent purple and almost murky, where it was clean water a moment ago.
ugh.
And she is going to fire at a beam from it in Ragnar's direction. And I will need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Why aren't I that close to you? I'm going to use Vigilant Guardian. Shit. Trent, get out the way. Actually, how far? How close do I have to be? 5 feet. So he's 10 feet away.
Okay, he said Dex.
Yes, please.
Like, just leave. I suppose I did. Oh. Yeah, 5 feet is like, he'd have to be the child next to me, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yikes. Oh, +4 from inspiration.
Oh, that'll probably pass it.
What's up, King?
8 total? Okay.
Crisp 8.
This is effectively a dexterity saving throw from a source you can see, so you would get danger sense advantage on this, I believe, as a barbarian.
Correct.
I think that's what danger sense
And-
does? Yes, okay.
Hold on. Yeah. Let me read this. Yep, things I can see.
You can very much see this coming towards you.
And I am no longer restrained.
You are no longer restrained.
Okay.
Makes enough of a difference.
Huge.
Huge. So you're going to take... ...61 points of force damage. And it
Okay.
feels... like this dreadful gnawing
Yeah, that's
consuming
rough.
you at this point.
That's a rough number.
You
Does
can
he take half? Does he succeed?
That is half.
discuss. Well, no. You would
Oh.
take half of that.
Oh, okay.
I apologize if I misspoke. But yes.
So, what, rounded down, so 30? Or
Uh,
rounded up, so 31.
31, yeah.
Okay,
Round up both
good.
ways. But you do feel this just horrid gnawing. And you hear that same voice in the back of your head. Just urging you, spurring you forward. You know exactly what it wants. You know exactly what it's capable of. But what you do is up to you. And with that, Marjorie, do you have anything else you would like to do with the rest of your turn? Any movement, any bonus action, anything? Since it is still on the same initiative.
No.
Okay. In that case, we come to...
Hold on. I'm gonna move a little closer to these motherfuckers. Alright, we're good now. These motherfuckers
Alright.
being my homies, for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you look up Joseph Joestar?
Oh yeah, I've seen the show.
okay.
So whose turn is it?
It is yours.
Just make sure. All right, I have a very specific set of things I would like to do. I am going to pop. Ragnar will shed whatever armor he will. He's barely wearing any armor as it is. He will be going down to bare essentials. So his leggings and like the vial. He is dropping the remnants of the mace, the maul. He's dropping that. I will be using fast movement to get speed increased by 10.
Yo.
And then I will be dashing towards the sword case.
All right.
Where is that?
Strips. It is roughly. It was suspended 20 feet in the air, but like with the water, yeah, you would be able to effectively swim up to it if you're dashing.
Yep. Does it say anything to me as I get near it? It knows. We are very familiar.
All it says to you is. All it says to you at this point, aside from what it's already been saying to you the entire time, is that it is time for you to choose.
Yeah.
Yourself or your
I mean,
people.
obviously I'm underwater. But can it hear me like telepathically? Could I? Like,
yes.
could I? Okay. Look. We sealed you in here for a reason. You respect my bloodline enough to let me wield you.
Yours and
I
yours
invoke the
alone.
name. I invoke the name of Henrik Ragnor. Release the shackles release the shackles of the binding, and become my weapon once again.
Oh God.
And with that, you do see where the hinges were weakened, it begins to shudder as the top flies off into the water, and both halves separate. You see a large, what looks like obsidian at first, you know to be wood, is this very heavy wooden blade carved intricately in the center with images of archons past, images of battles past, of foes slain, of beasts felled. And along the sides are these jagged, again, looking to be obsidian themselves, what you know to be these jagged gemstones that emanate this immense power, and they have a crackling sort of energy rolling between them in the design of an Aztec Macawatl. But much larger.
And I just kind of nod at it and just reach my hand out through the water.
All right. And you hear the closest thing you can get to underwater shrieking from the creature in the middle of the room as you do. And there is a shockwave that just, it doesn't disperse the water, but it sounds like a depth charge going off as you see her get knocked back into the throne in front of this cannon right here. And you guys watch as everything in the room is thrown away from this. A good, unless it's up against something solid, a good 10, 15 feet. Not enough to take damage. But that includes her against the cannon. That includes Voldaris out of the water here to about 5, 10, 15. You hear him coughing and sputtering. All of these shadow demons are only moved about 5 feet, but they all immediately look in the direction of what just happened. And all of you are thrown to the back wall from the blast. You are braced enough. I would say give me a Constitution saving throw, being braced on the statue. And from being, somewhat covered by it. That is good enough. You are able to maintain your grip, but looking over, you see Ragnar's form swelling at this point.
It's
Ragnar,
the final boss.
your form begins to swell to a larger state, and you feel, you guys saw from before where his arms were beginning to rip, like the skin was beginning to rip and the muscle was beginning to like show itself, the actual tendons were beginning to show. His arms are almost completely devoid of skin now, and it is mostly sinew and just blood seeping out of the musculature of his arms, and like the skin on his back splitting as well. And you hear just screams from underwater as this connects with Ragnor, as this resonates with his bloodline. He grows, and he grows to a larger form.
I look at the blade. So you really are the Void Beast that started all of this. You're the one that we do the game for. You're everything. You're why this house is where it's at. You are the beast that has been sealed in these houses for generations. We've called you the Nameless One. So tell me, now that I'm wielding you, like my forefather did, what's your name?
You know me well enough by now. As the Lord of Blood, the Horned Lord. Pay penance to Orcus. And you feel horns split out of the sides of your skull and curl into ram horn formation. Red embers, these burning hot coals form in the pupils of your eyes, and all you feel is a painful, searing need to destroy that creature that wronged your house. I will say at this point, you are given an action surge to act. You are given essentially another action to act in this moment.
Okay. I kind of sync my mind with Orcus, making sure that he knows that while I may not be as strong as Heinrich was, that his blood is still in here, and that it sealed him once and it can seal him again. As like I get his kind of cooperation for a strike on this bitch.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, as you move up to this, you can actually feel the light from the sun hole, like coming through this little bit right here on your on your right arm, and it is immensely painful. But you persevere for the moment.
See I have, and this is just me talking to Orcus. I see giving up my immunities for this power.
You will give more in time.
I'll give all that I can. And then as I like bring them Mecha Helpful down onto, or try to, I'll roll attack.
I will say this would normally be with advantage, but being underwater, it will just be a straight.
What's it? What am I rolling? Is doing my what's a plus what on
Like
this thing?
90-10.
Well, plus what to hit? Is there a plus something to hit on this thing?
I believe so. Should be listed on the actions for it.
Oh, did you DM me this?
Yes, you should be in the DMs, yeah.
Let's see.
Gotcha, Winter.
If you can help me find it, 'cause I don't. I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
It should just be under the like attack action section.
Oh right, duh. There it is. Cool. +6. Wait, that's it. No. There it is. There it is. Holy shit. Think I'm reading this right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Attack bonus applies to hit, right?
Yeah,
Or is
what the stats? Can I have the stats?
No.
Can I touch the sword just for real quick?
I think I rolled that right.
What?
I
The sword's
believe
gonna
so.
happen a Death Knight holding the sword.
And that does it. You're also, for the sake of this, permanently considered raging.
Correct.
Oh god, I'm not in the watch along this whole time. I can't join activity. Is there watch along?
Yeah, it's music.
it
You
like
can go down to the little
players?
drop down. You can go down to the little drop down and click YouTube, and you get it.
Thank you.
+2
It's
to
about to
damage.
time out in
Okay.
like 50 seconds anyway, sadly.
I was wondering what horrible apocalypse music was playing.
I would say I really wish this. I really wish this activity didn't just like time itself out from YouTube.
Yeah, it's so lame.
That Ragnor in the thumbnail.
No, it's just a boy. Just a silly little guy.
Okay. Let me know if I did the math wrong here, but I think I read this right. Because I'm raging.
Should be correct. And that imposes a Constitution saving throw as well.
Look at what they need to mimic a fraction.
That's funny.
And as I bring it down, I talk to Orcus. And I'm like, you're inhabiting my grandfather's weapon. This is Octavian's sword. He would never tell me the name of it. I think it's time I learned that. He told me the name is the last tenet of becoming the Archon. So what am I carrying? A weapon's name has power.
Little Lord thing. You now wield the Lord's burden, as you will see in time. And as it comes across, you do notice as you make contact with this, it leaves a nasty gash along her mucus-like body. And where it looked like it was all like yellow ichor before, you actually see this black ooze start like seeping out of it as well, as it appears to have left this creature bleeding from the gash mark over the chest area. And it is sounds of underwater violence is going on, is all you guys get from most of this.
I love that.
Yeah, like I've imagined between the purple murky shit and now all the blood, like
Oh,
it's
it's
on.
very
Can people even
foggy over
see
in this
inside?
area.
Yeah.
Real bad vibes.
There's just black and yellow ichor filling like the zone around you. It's very hard to see into it now.
This really
So did we
badass
see any of that
confrontation is going
transformation?
on. All the rest of the party hears is blub 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 blub.
Fish speak, yeah. Actually, I need to give him initiative now because he is effectively not choking to death. 6. Okay.
And then did it take the bleed?
It will take that at the start of its turn.
Okay, and then is that every action I have at the moment?
I believe so.
Can you attack twice?
I use dash.
You use dash on the first part. This is
Yeah, but he
effectively
gave
a
you, like,
whole extra
action
turn.
surge.
Okay.
So, yeah, you
that's
would
what I
have
was
one more
wondering.
attack, that is correct.
That's what I was
Found him.
So, yeah, go for it.
wondering. Yeah, no, he's not there yet. He's not gonna drink the vial yet because he still sees a route where he can save this. He doesn't necessarily have to go full vampire lord mode.
What do you call what you did?
This is accepting my family's burden mode. He looks at the vial and considers it, but like seeing the sun and everything, he's like, okay, hold on, pump the brakes. He's just gonna fucking to kind of show Orcus that like, hey, we're in this together. Regardless of what you may need from me physically. He's going to, for a second attack, he is going to bite this thing instead of using Lord's Burden.
Ooh, okay. Go for it.
Would bite be considered unarmed as far as to hit? Oh no, I see it. Never mind. I see it.
I was gonna say it's got its own action. Oh, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. And as this is going on, you guys notice that the shadow demons are no longer focused on the party. They are now just watching Ragnor very intently.
Plus 3 H damage.
Still.
So doing that 3, so her max HP is reduced by 7.
Yeah, sure is. Have a look here. Right, she is looking really rough in all of this as you just bite in and rip out a not really a chunk, but a mouthful of this viscous fluid, and it is foul. It is far worse than anything you have tasted before. It's almost worthy of making you retch, but you're in such a focused, rage-induced state right now that it's not bothering you as much as it should. But you do feel, as you ingest, it's wrong. It's not. There's more to this creature than just being a foul denizen of the Underdark. This creature is tainted by something far worse. And you can also just feel it from being in the presence of the staff as well. It's not as bad as when the concentration was being held to keep the effect over the room. But you can feel why Lord Autress was struggling at the point. Like, this is... Whatever you just ingested is the worst, most foul, yet powerful feeling that you have ever had. Alright. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I
believe you.
Am I big enough? No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. That brings us to Equilibrium. You can faintly make out the shape of that creature that Ragnor is fighting in there. So you do still have a visual, and it's looking very rough.
Are we still fighting the demons? They seem a bit distracted.
They have dropped their fighting posture and are looking at Ragnor as a child who admires a hero.
Oh, he was saying that to the others next to him.
Oh.
Or currently up against this back wall.
Right.
I mean, they're not friends, so...
Hell yeah, that's what I always say.
Well, they look a little bit enamored with Ragnor. Maybe they will be friends.
They had that chance before they walked into Ragnar's house and tried to steal it.
Well, alright, I've not got to try this one out anyway. And, let me see. Yeah, that won't hit any friends.
I use tactical nuke.
Hell yeah.
Essence of orbital laser.
Finally hit that fucking 25 kill streak there. Let's go.
Out of his left hand, a small bead of ice launches out to hit the ground, then explodes into a giant sphere of icy spikes. And I'm gonna need dex saves from those demons.
Ice ball.
Yeah,
Ice
yeah.
ball.
Ignore where it says fire. It does ice damage. Well, cold damage.
Perfect. Where is it centered? Just so I know.
It is centered. I think it was. Yeah. Centered
Gotcha.
there.
Freeze some
Okay.
water, too.
And this is ice damage, you said? Like cold damage?
Yes.
Strangely
it's
enough.
transmuted to do cold damage.
As it goes off, you watch as the cold goes over their form and seems to just be absorbed into it. They don't seem affected by cold damage in particular.
No.
Well, that's half of what I can do rendered useless.
Sorry, buddy.
Remind me to try that one not on demons next time.
Understandable.
And that'll be my turn.
Alright.
Hey, yo, fuck them demons.
Yeah.
Winter, what would you like to do?
Asshole.
They cheat.
For real.
Run up here. Do they like react to my presence at all?
No. They are mesmerized by what is going on in front of them.
Oh, I thought there was too much stuff to hit. I don't know if I should have hit it. Probably will. I mean, Ragnar's not
So
going to keep him.
They appear to just be looking right through you at what is going on in the water.
Remind them there's more than one combatant on this enemy field.
Yeah. You guys could pull your weight. You got this.
No.
Sorry, I didn't grow any horns yet.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't have any. I don't have nothing back here to whip out besides the control water, and I'm already doing
That water's doing work, though.
I'm going to do my bonus action first, which will be a... Well, I don't know, like, if they're not affected by cold, would I know if they're affected by fire? Like, did we do that last time? No. Because it'll just go through. I don't want to... Like, I don't want to pull an equilibrium.
It's up to you. You guys have seen that these are, I believe from last time, non-magical weapons didn't seem to do a lot to them, and cold damage did nothing to them.
I don't remember if we did fire damage. Oh well.
Demons are mean.
Yeah, fire probably does some. It's like light and shit. I'm gonna blood boil. Alright, yeah, I think I can click it too. Fine. I can put it in my roll 20 thing. Blood boil.
Gotcha.
The boil.
Constitution
Get my
saving throw.
enemies. So does that get all three of them then?
Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
It specifies, yeah, any creatures of my choice. So it'll just be them three.
Constitution saving throw. Okay. Just gonna do three of these. Top to bottom. So, what is your DC for this? Spell save DC 0.
15.
Okay, so they're all good. 15. Shit. Alright, so looks like the top two, the one next to you and the one above you, save. And the one below you does not. Just shy.
Okay, we'll still take half.
Yep.
And I don't know,
3d6
do I
fire
add-
damage? Okay.
charisma to that, like my flat charisma.
Not unless stated otherwise for spells.
Okay. Alright, so it's 16. Fire.
16
Which
fire.
is super
okay.
effective, right? They're vulnerable. For sure.
It
And
doesn't seem like it does as
struggle.
much as you would like it to them, but it does affect them.
Okay. Alright.
And they seem
And,
to kind of like tense up a little bit, but they're still very focused on just watching Ragnor.
I think I don't need to do it as much, but, you know, she still might try to do something that frightens people. So I'm going to cast, still do my Horn of Winter,
Okay.
which
I
it,
think behind me,
the long thing there, but basically we get my charisma worth of temp HP. So for me, I'll actually get the temp HP because I don't have it. But if you already have temp HP, we decided that we still get the buff.
Yep.
So you cannot be, what is it?
Advantage on saving throws against being frightened, as long as you have temporary HP.
Yeah.
And what is your charisma modifier? How many temp HP does this give? 'Cause I
4.
think Ragnor needs them as well. Okay.
Well, I was thinking allies, and if I see Ragnor, unless he's talked to me, I don't even know if...
That's
I
up
guess
to
it's
you.
still
You don't have to
Ragnor.
give it to him.
You got horns, you're all scary, man. I can't hear you underwater, it's just scary in there. Yeah, he's still my ally, yeah. I was just debating if, like, subconsciously Winter wouldn't, but yeah, he would. And then all enemies must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of me. Until my next turn.
Gotcha. And that's within
All that can hear it.
all that can hear. Yeah, so
It's just
6
allowed
of
its
them,
horn,
let
so
me
I guess
make
it'll
sure.
go through the water. That's what I imagine.
these things are immune to a lot of physical stuff. They are not immune to frighten. Okay. So,
I just try to be a wall in front of equilibrium as they walk past me.
Wisdom save. Okay. top left, middle left, and bottom left. Top right, right, bottom right.
15. Same PC.
One of them hit double digits. Oh my god. None of them save. So, if you would like to describe how your horn goes off and what it sounds like, the general flavor.
Like, I forgot because there was an actual. Hang on, let me move into. It's an actual thing for WoW. Guys, picture. Yeah, I was checking. Yeah, basically when you blow it, it's just like a big ice mist out of it. I don't know. It'd just be very loud horn, like the that one from Lord of the Rings. The
Winter
Word of
calls for
Gondor
aid.
or something. Yeah.
I'm
Just big ice
literally
mist
in
on
my
there.
head. All I'm picturing is like the WoW horn blowing sounds.
Alright, but yeah, everybody is effectively has advantage on saving throws against being frightened right now. And Winter, you pick up the temporary HP off of it as well. It would effectively be anybody who doesn't have temp HP, but I think everybody else still has Trents from before. And as long as you have those, it will still count. Alright. And you watch as, like, their attention is snatched away from Ragnor for a moment to, like, look at you, and you do see them all kind of shudder. And, like, they look like they want to be away from you.
Dare you ignore my fire? Literally, your blood boiled. Whatever you have for blood.
Even when they're looking at you, it still looks like their necks are trying to, like, twist and contort to see what's happening with Ragnor, but they're too focused on the fright effect right now. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
That's it.
I believe you have. Okay. On their turn, they are going to scuttle away because they cannot move closer to you. Or not willingly. So that's going to be...
Oh, and I deemed you.
That's
Sir.
here. Yep. Actually, that won't get quite as far. Oh, I almost shrank him.
Hey, attack opportunity on one out?
Yes, you would get an attack of opportunity on that one. It's probably here.
I think I would do it on that bottom one because it failed to save.
Do it on the
Fire.
bottom one? Okay.
Let's see. Eight now. Well,
22
Wait.
hit? Absolutely.
so I have for my axe is 1d12 plus, and I have plus 11. That seems like too much. Let me. I clicked it. What did I put here? D12. I think it's just assuming I clear, so it's not supposed to be that much. I think it's 7. Yep. Okay, so the 10. Ignore that 13.
10 points? Okay. Sorry, I went back to pet Dexter, and I felt that his ear was wet, and I was afraid it was like blood where he had like scratched himself or something. Now he just got his ear in the water. He's goofy.
What a goofy. Doing his best.
He's a goober. 10 points to number that one.
That one.
Got it. Okie dokie. Gotcha.
We got CC2, bitch.
And Trent, we come to your turn at the end of those dudes doing their thing. At the beginning of your turn, at hearing this horn, you feel a very strange sensation. It's... hold on. Make sure. Say Dan is DMing me at the moment. But as long as you can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and roll this. You have a very strange sensation in the back of your head, and it's not your usual passenger speaking to you. You get the same feeling as it becomes clear to you that you had... Okay, I gotcha. Now we'll get to that in just a moment then. You very clearly for a moment remember the night you had with Winter arm wrestling, where you guys connected minds for a moment. You didn't really picture it or realize it as much before, but it comes through now as a sort of traumatic link between the two of you. And whereas he saw something in your mind, now as the horn blows, something in your mind resonates as well. And hearing that horn, you kind of like grab your head for a second, you blink, and you're looking down and you see snow and black sabatons that you're wearing on your feet. And you look at your hand, and your hand is bloodied, and your arm is barely hanging on to your torso. As it drops and you look up, you drop to your knees, and all you see is this massive mountain of a humanoid creature with flesh rotting off of the side of its face, wielding a huge greatsword with a flat end and a very large purple gem at the base of the hilt. And you feel him rear back, take a massive swing halfway into your midsection before you hear trembling. Because as this hits you, it connects and it stops inside of you. It does not go all the way through. Something stops it. Something halts it. And you hear rumbling behind you as something is shouted in a guttural voice in a language that you do not fully understand yourself. As you watch someone roughly the size of this creature tackle it off of its feet and knock the blade out of its hand. And you feel yourself fall to the ground in the snow, like one eye above the snow able to see, as the blade plants itself in the snow before you. And you blink, and you're back in the room with your companions. Everything is back to normal. But yeah, Trent is, from what Dan has told me, is casting slow on the shadow demons that are in the room. And I'm going to go with the pack that Winter just hampered, since the rest seem to be scattering more. So they all have to make a con save of 16. It's going to be +1 for all of them, so top, middle, bottom. Bottom one is the only one that succeeds. Gotcha. So the top two shadow demons are slowed, effectively. Alright. And Trent will also inspire Art for Art's next turn. Alright. Coming to the end of the order. Art, you in particular would hear this, but you would hear, like, anybody within, like, the earshot that could hear over the sound of, like, combat and underwater violence going on would hear Lord Autress looking up at the ceiling and seeing the three figures there. And you just hear him just, "I appreciate your help, but you're a bit late." And, he, sees what's behind him and he feels the sun hole, like, not as intense as the first impact, still kind of, like, searing into his skin a little bit, as he hobbles his way over to this, like, half wall to get out of the direct line from it. And he's going to be catching his breath over there as we come back to the top of the order with Art. You have inspiration. And you see that this thing is falling apart against Ragnor right now. I know Art said, he also DM'd me and said he's gonna have to wrap up soon, which I plan on doing anyway.
Yep.
So, he gave me instructions that he will simply shoot twice if we want to keep going. I'm just gonna have him take a shot real quick, which I have a sheet here now. Very useful. We're just gonna take a basic shot at the lady in the water. Nothing fancy. And second attack. Both of those do hit. And it is going to be... yeah, that is going to be enough. So... you watch as Art, like, is braced up on this thing as all of this... everything is going on literally around him. And he raises his arm just shy, having to, like, not fully extend his arm, otherwise he would be in the water to, like, attempt to take the shot. And thank goodness for Sharpshooter on that, into the water against the beast that Ragnor is currently fighting. And he is going to fire off 2 rounds, one straight through the wound that Ragnor made in the stomach and one right through the back of the eye, as these bubbles of black ichor begin forming inside of the terrain, and the form begins to dissipate, and the staff and a few other items are left there floating in the water. With that, we are effectively out of combat, as the Shadow Demons don't seem to be currently willing to fight or wanting to fight. They seem almost mesmerized by watching Ragnor at the moment.
I don't think I dropped the water. I mean, fuck.
If you're not dropping
Do I?
it, it's up to you.
Are you good, Ragnor?
Ragnor, you hear like very muffled Marge, or very muffled Crab attempting to yell at you from outside of the water, but you can make out what it's saying.
Wasteful Washington spending is driving up the price of everything in Ohio. Groceries, gas, electricity.
Did you get my DM?
Yes, I apologize. Give me one moment.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, cool. All right. Ragnor, sing.
Is Ragnor having some issues?
Yeah, hold on. Ragnor, while listening to all this, just says out loud, "Can you cast the spell or not?"
What? You know damn well you ain't talking to this crab. I'm so lost.
You could also, whatever you want to do, you're the DM, but you can also speak out loud.
Right. So, this is definitely more of a we're Ragnar's hearing moment.
Okay. So I'm gonna rejoin it. What is it? Bubble?
I'm just gonna leave the water up.
Before it even can finish the next thought, Ragnor uncorks the vial, and drinks it.
Mm-hmm.
And says, "If you can't, then I will." As he drinks the cleanse that becomes that the Archons are given to become a vampire lord.
Okay. And we will end on that note for tonight. We will start up next week since we have some people I know either not fully available or not 100% of, well, basically just not 100% available right now.
Can
And
before we
people need to
end,
wrap up
can
by
I what does Orcus say to that?
You hear silence for a moment, and then all you hear is just it's always the same, thinking they can overcome us. You will not achieve anything. You will not save your bloodline. You don't have the power to wield this staff.
Cool.
Alright. And we will end off there for now. So, I know we went slightly over. I tried to keep it, you know, right on 10. But I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I appreciate your y'all's patience. We will see what that results in at the beginning of next session. I'm just glad we got to play again after like a month.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Thank you guys for being here.
No problem.
Thanks for the session.
Yeah.
Back.
I'm sure there will be no negative repercussions at all next session.
Never.
I'll leave everybody exactly where they are. Yeah, just a second. I will do a quick outro and get the stream down, and I will be right back. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be doing D&D again. I appreciate the hell out of all of you guys hanging out. I appreciate my players, as always, of course. I'm very glad we could finally get a... What a time I chose to walk away. I just saw that, Luffy. Winter would keep attacking them. You're more than welcome to, but there will be a part 2 to this next session. There will be more to this now for sure, and y'all will see. I hope you look forward to it. I hope we all enjoy it. But thank you guys again all for coming out. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to see if I can find someone else who is... God, I'm going to close like 20 fucking tabs that I had trying to track everything for underwater combat and enemies and special abilities and different people's character sheets. Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's see if we can find somebody else doing Dungeons & Dragons to raid out to. Happy Memorial Day weekend, by the way. Hope everybody's got some fun plans, and if not, I hope you get some good rest in. Hope y'all are vibing. And if you're not, hey, I might do a longer stream tomorrow. Instead of just doing a Final Fantasy at around 1 a.m., I might do like a 12-hour stream or something, and just sit and vibe and do a bunch of big stupid bear shit. So hope y'all can be around for that. Be pretty cool, because I don't have anything else going on otherwise. So let me see here. Who's got a fun-looking D&D stream going on? Some D&D group. I kind of like the look of that map they got going on. That's pretty cool. That one's called Pirate Quest. Hold on. Make sure this actually loads. PG designers and enthusiasts. Yeah, okay. Let me make sure they're speaking English real quick. I'm pretty sure they are. I've gone into streams before with the English tag where people were not speaking English. Looks like they're working on some stuff right now, so let's pass off of that and go back to the one I was initially going to go off of here. Oh, hold on. Why is this so limited? There should be more channels doing this. But strange. It's not like extra pages, there's just like... Huh. It's weird. See what this one's doing then.
That's because everybody's stacked on top of everybody.
Okay. Send you guys over to Gromdal Forgeborn. That's a good-ass D&D channel name. Hey, Mouse Games. How's it going? We were just wrapping up D&D for the night. Hope you're having a good night. Hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend. I'm actually about to raid out to Gromdal Forgeborn, who is also doing some D&D stuff. So, hopefully you can stick around. If you'd like, we play every other week and Sunday. So, if you'd like to catch that for the